conversation circles. Uh, we went back to find Ronald, who didn't say the names of the two elves in Nandar Keep. Uh, we tried to track him down, but he vanished without a trace once he broke line of sight with us. Uh, Kino and Honor investigated the windmill to find it was in perfect working order, while Abel fashioned a bridge out of wooden rubble, and Abel and Grin got their memories modified so that they believed they both saw a giant dragon turtle doing laps in the moat around Nandar Keep. The modified memory also caused Abel to purposefully fashion the contraption to fail. Once we made our way inside the keep, Kino and Grin scaled the archer's towers to unlatch the door from the inside, and we explored the ground floor of the castle. Inside, Grin saw a green light emanating from a powerful undead being, which did an immense amount of death magic to him, but not necrotic. The door, let's see. Half the group snuck around the back to realize that the opposite side of the room was hidden with an illusionary wall, painting the room to look empty. The group fought the powerful undead being, but right before it died, it opened up a portal to the realm of Skyish, also known as the realm of death. Through the portal, we could see large towers made of cemented bone dust. Abel used the Modron to gain a bit more info on it, and we investigated the door across the room from us, which had a ladder leading upwards in it, with a grave marker written in a language no one in the party read. Honor used comprehend languages and found it said, by royal order and decree, property of Skyish, with a large number designating a bone count. The session ended with Abel using using the Modron to gain more knowledge on Skyish.
It yeah. Okay. I for some reason I thought that we were outside Daggerford.
We
Nope.
were.
We're beyond.
Oh, right. For some reason I thought, yeah. Okay, all right. That's super weird. Because for some reason I thought that we actually went back because I was thinking I planned something else, but that is right. Jesus. Okay. Thank you.
I
All
thought we
right.
were generally about to leave, though, but I don't.
That's what I thought. I thought at the end you decided to go back to Daggerford, but I suppose that was not right.
No, we
Anyway,
haven't explored the rest of this castle yet.
that is true. That is 100% true.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't get the sense that whatever's that powerful, just taking advantage of an empty place.
Well, you take what was it, 10d6 like 3 times, and let me know how powerful it is.
That's fair.
Yeah, that certainly sucked. Even on average, that sucks. Even if it rolls poorly, that can really suck. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain, guys.
You need to be healed.
The thing to keep in mind with that specific aura is that it is clearly set up to like have that thing, like if that thing were to ever walk into a town with commoners having 4 HP, people would just die all around it. It could take over towns by walking inside of it.
Hmm.
Like literally,
Um,
Neverwinter's militia would be decimated by something like that.
yeah, I'd say if I was like 103, I'm at like a 27.
Well, we should heal you up before we go any farther.
Yes.
Let me
What do I have?
see.
Which one of you do I talk to?
I'm trying to figure out what I have to.
Staircase going up to the castle is, of course, this staircase here in front of you. You enter in this way, it goes up. You will come out over here.
Yeah, if you want to stand near me, I can cast Aura of Vitality.
Sure.
Mm,
Oh, what was that?
Oh, instead of casting Aura Vitality, he dissed me.
He said no.
I'll drag him out. Hold on. Oh, I actually can't. No, I can. Hey, Abel.
Hey, welcome back.
I think you accidentally went to another channel.
Oh, does anyone else need healing? Okay, so I'll cast Aura of Healing, and you can get 20d6.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Great.
Aura of Vitality, sorry.
Or Vitality. Nice.
Um,
That's really good. What is Aura Vitality run? Is it
one,
like a 10-foot
1
square or something?
1 minute, 30-foot radius until the spell ends. The aura moves with you, centered on you. You can use a bonus action to cause one creature in the aura, including you, to regain 2d6 hit points.
Oh, 2d6. Gotcha.
So I
Gotcha.
get 10 of those, though.
Right. In a minute. Yep. 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 Yep.
74?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Out of combat, that is really, really good. Even in
I'm
combat,
nearly
it's
back to
good, but
full.
out of
Yeah,
combat,
it's
it's really
solid in
good.
combat.
Yeah. It's definitely solid in combat, but out of combat, that's great.
It paints a big bullseye
Yeah,
on me,
that's
though.
handy.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, I feel better. Let's sally forth.
Get hammed.
Yeah. Okay. I head up the stairs.
Okay. Go ahead and move your guy. It goes this way and then comes out here, which will put you right here. All right. So Grin, when you get upstairs, surprisingly, this is a much smaller area. So, and it's smaller because it's obviously a T-shaped, as you can see, with some closed doors on this side here, this side here, this side here, and of course, all these doors are closed. Within this area, though, it doesn't look like there's any furniture. There's nothing of like note. It is all the same flagstone. You're gonna have to open up doors. Now you know from the outside. I won't make you play dumb on this. You know from the outside that this area is ruined here, and that you know that this area is mostly ruined here as well.
Right.
You know that this one will be mostly intact. Yeah.
I wait for everyone else to join me.
Yep.
Well, I'm at the bottom of it. I'm gonna go up the
Yeah.
ladder.
Yeah.
Also,
Kino, go.
before I equip it in D&D Beyond, is everyone all right with me taking Elda's what is it? The Amulet of Health?
Take it.
All right.
Yeah, I think it'll help more on you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So yeah, you guys hear Kino climb the ladder, and she opens the door to join you. That was just to denote
That's
where
Kino.
the yeah, no. That was to
How
know
dare
where
you.
the tombstone like thing was. That's all. Yeah. Yep. All right. So
Kino, is that wooden ladder gonna hold your weight?
it did. It did. Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seems sturdy enough.
All right. So this is a pretty like this is basically built. It looks like this is actually just built as like a travel room to get up to any of these spires that defend it. There's nothing there's nothing really here as far as like creature comforts or anything. And most surprisingly, keep in mind you have not seen any rooms or any like there's no king's quarter here or anything like that.
Mhm.
No bedrooms.
It's a shitty castle.
Is it a fortress and not a castle?
I don't know what the difference is, to be honest with you.
Usually a lord lives in a castle. Fortress is meant specifically for fighting.
Who's trying to throw me off a cliff?
Yeah. So, Gren, it's a wooden door that's locked. You're strong enough to probably break the hinges.
Do you
Do I
want me to
see any
check it?
green
But-
aura?
No, no green aura. Nope.
All right, I'm just gonna try and shoulder it open.
You can. Yeah, just do your strength check.
14.
It's still enough to break it, but you're gonna have to do it a couple times. You notice Gren's struggling with it, but after like 30,
Is there a lock
60
on it?
There is.
Want me to undo that?
It's up to you,
Uh,
Gren. You're gonna be able to break it in a minute, but you can let
Yeah,
him
just
unlock.
give me a minute. I'll break it open. It's
Yeah.
not like this place is gonna, not like I'm gonna hurt the resale value.
Yeah, so if you stop Abel after a minute or so, you finally get the door broken on the hinges and it falls. It actually falls, and once you crack it open, it falls on the other side. When you get into here, this is what you see. You do see there are a number of dead bodies in this room. There are 6, but they're completely skeletal. Um, so it looks like they've been dead a long, 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 long time. As a matter of fact, um, even when you get close to them, and I'll put them here so we can take a look at them. But
Do I think they've been dead longer than the 8 months it's been since this place was attacked?
it looks like yeah, because they're bones. They're actual bones. They're pure skeletons, which that must be more than 8 months to decompose a body. Um, hold on, what's going on with this?
I mean, or somebody hit him with some death aura or something.
Yeah, so there's 6 of these. Um, they're strewn all in this room here. And yes, it does look like they've been dead a long, long, long time, as they are all just bones.
Are their
Is the
clothes
room
out of style?
It's a good question. The clothes also look like they're like it looks like the fabric has been worn. Um, but you don't necessarily think that they're necessarily in any style you haven't seen. But they're mostly commoner clothes. There doesn't look
Okay.
like there's any nobility clothing here.
Mhm.
Um, but um, some of the corpses are actually holding hands, though, and I'll denote those as well.
Do you see
So
any
this-
religious emblems in there, Grin?
I step out of the way of the door and let
These corpses are holding hands.
smarter
Yep.
people take a look.
Okay.
Were the skeletons the only thing in the room?
So right. So the other thing that you notice is that this room does have furniture in it. There's a bed over here with these 2 people lying into it. There's a dresser over here, and then there is a what looks like a couple chairs that these skeletons are sitting on this side. This one does have, for whatever reason, furniture in it. 6 people though died in here.
Do they have weapons?
So if you go through and investigate this, go ahead and do an investigation check. But right off the bat, they do have weapons. The weapons look
Oh.
like they're rusted and older for some reason. You got a 20?
30-20, yeah.
I'm gonna move out of the way of the door, but into the room.
Okay. All right. Yep. Um. So so these are the ones that have weapons on them. So this person here has sword. These 2 people have spears strewn across them. They look like older weapons, meaning that they look a little decayed. Um, this skeleton does not have weapons. These skeletons do not have weapons. Other than that, so with your investigation check, as you look through, um, the only other thing of interest that you find is that there is a note scribbled in what looks like blood. And when you start looking at the leathery parchment, you think that this could actually end up being human skin, although you're not entirely sure that that's true yet. And it's written in let's look. I guess can people just say their languages just for me to be sure?
Common,
Common,
Draconic,
Draconic,
Infernal, and
Elvish.
Vidalcan.
Yep. And what's yours? I think I know yours, Kino.
Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Infernal.
Yep.
Common and Gnomish.
Yep. Primordial. Okay. Yep. And John, yours?
He'll be back.
Okay.
He's having computer problems.
Yep. Okay. No, this is in a language that no one understands here.
I'm just gonna do a divine sense real quick while we're standing in the room.
Okay. There's no fiends, celestials, undeads. Was that all that divine sense is? That is correct.
As well as consecrated and desecrated.
Oh yeah, it's neither. Yep.
Okay.
I'm sure we would have noticed that from the 2 divine senses we did downstairs. It goes
Yep.
up.
Well, it has a
presumably
range
too,
for me.
right?
It does go up though. The way that I interpret it, at least, it goes up. Yeah.
I believe it's also blocked by walls and stuff.
It is.
So,
That's a good
Well,
point. That's actually a good point. It depends, actually.
but how did we might have goofed that because we used that to find the thing inside.
well, I think it's like a foot of stone or whatnot. Just because I'm assuming it's like a, you know.
It says something about this. I'm looking right now.
I'm new to divine sense, so
It's okay, Grim.
You haven't read the manual yet?
yeah, no.
Yeah, the presence of strong angel rushing your senses like an noxious odor and a powerful good reading. As an action, you open your awareness to detect the forces of the end. Yeah, so it's undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. So any wall would be total cover. So that is correct.
Yeah, so I just like to be thorough, Grin.
Yeah, I may have fudged that too because it is, yeah, anything that counts as total cover. So yes, if it's behind a wall, that does not pick up on your defiant sense. So I might have been fucking that up. Yeah.
Do we want to hang out for here for a second while we do get some comprehend languages?
That's a great
Uh,
map,
do
by the way, Kino. That's a very good map that you're doing. It must have taken forever.
Oh, thank you.
Good job. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
do
Does it last an hour? Yeah, it's not up.
do we even want to touch that note?
If it lasts an hour, it would still be up. Here. Okay, so if it's still up, Honor, you cast it? All right.
John said he's
Um,
going to be a minute. He's just going to follow along.
okay. When you look at the note, um, it looks like it looks like at first it's a bunch of nonsense words, and you'll have to write these down. But essentially the words are through, up, cloud, smash, evil, stone, separated, and then it looks like part of it's smudged off in blood, but stolen artifact, all one word, but it's smudged. You're able to piece the word together though, so it doesn't make a ton of sense. Sure.
Hmm.
Do you say the words out loud or do you just write them down? Yeah.
Are they scrambled letters in a alphabet you don't know or we didn't know?
She'll tell you they're just random words. It's weird. They're
They're
written in the
actual
language.
words, though.
They are.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it like a control panel or something? Yeah.
Now there's another staircase that goes all the way up to the top, or closer to the top. Whatever that would be, and it's right here.
God, did that skeleton just move?
No.
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Or if it did, it was a mistake, but no.
That's not funny, Keanu, moving the skeletons around.
Not too.
Yeah.
I'm staying outside.
But all right. So right. So if you get to the third floor, you would use the map here. This is the third floor. And of course there's the other rooms with broken things in them and stuff, but third third floor is yeah, it's the top. There is no roof to it. It's the top here. Third floor is this.
Can I look at the sword the one skeleton has?
Yeah.
Does it
Yeah,
look
so
special?
yeah, I mean it looks old, surprisingly. And the puzzle to this is that you're not really sure how. I mean, this would be even to you, Grin. This would be unnatural because like, how are there like hundreds of year old skeletons in this room with weapons that look like they're hundreds of years old? Um, and the sword does look like it's hundreds of years old. Even the wood is brittle and cracked on the other side of it. You don't think this would be the greatest functional weapon because of the fact that it's older.
Does the
Um,
shield have any kind of like emblem on it?
What is
uh,
Butterball?
So there is no shield. Sorry, if I said there was a shield, that's correct. But there's no shield.
Oh,
He
maybe
just
I
has a
misheard.
sword. Yeah, no shield. And there is no emblems. There is no holy symbols, no emblems of these people. It looks like they may have made some kind of last stand in here. That no sign of elven siblings or anything like that, though.
Mhm.
The room was locked from the inside, right?
It was
Do any of them have a key on them that I can see?
nothing. No, as a matter of fact, they don't. Not only do they don't have a key, but they also don't have like the things that you would expect normal people to have, like money and items. You know,
Does
like
this
even
look
people have like small like
does
bits
this
of
look like a prison cell at all or anything?
no. No, this is actually a modest room. This is like a modest room that you might put guests inside.
Mhm.
Well, I don't really want to touch them.
Do we see anything on them, items in their hands or the holding
No, the
or
only the only thing that was
colors of their robes that, relate back to the nonsense words that we're seeing?
okay, that's a great thing, but unfortunately no. Like the nonsense words don't have any like correlation to the room. It doesn't look like it's even if that was like some kind of encoded message, it doesn't really make a ton of sense. It does look confusing and random that what you're seeing for now is in here. It's suspicious to you, Abel, with your super high intelligence that they don't have anything on them. It's also suspicious to you that they're just like laying in here. They're unnaturally old for this time. Even if they had died when you think they died, that would have to mean that this castle was operating, this fortress was operating like it is, with a bunch of skeletons in it for the entire time this village was up. Meaning they were just here always. They've always been here as like decoration. That's the only thing that would make sense here. So this is not, something is not right.
I'm starting to think that old guy was full of shit.
That happens a lot.
Does the note look old?
No, there's no indication the note's old. It is made out of human skin written in blood, but well, see, the problem is that the note doesn't look old, so you don't know. But the skeletons and the items certainly look old.
Henry, can Butterball give this room and the note a once-over?
Okay. Yeah, the only thing that Butterball notices that's magic is the note. It's glowing like it's magic.
Put it down.
Maybe have someone cast Identify on it?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So you, after a couple minutes, you realize that the note is a complex magical item that is meant to, once you figure out the command word, which you will figure out as soon as you do have to attune to this item, but what if you can attune to it, or anyone can attune to it, the command word will come to them eventually. They have to mess with it for an hour. Once they figure out the command word, the note's going to open up and basically open up a portal or teleport you to a specific place. Unfortunately, you have no idea where it's going to actually teleport you, because it's actually pieces of two magic items. One of the magic items is somewhere else. You'd have to identify that to get the location. But this is tied to another place, and it's meant as a teleportation or gateway or like get out of jail free card kind of thing.
I'm gonna take out the map.
Yep.
And does it
Nothing.
see?
The
Okay,
map
this
never
is.
saw this. The map never saw this item.
Oh.
Okay.
Mhm.
It opens up. That's the neat thing. The one thing that's curious about this, and now that you've done the identify, is that now you know the properties of it. This thing opens up into like this crazy ass box that you're kind of curious about, and then the
This
box is what builds this like portal. You get a sense that it's going to be macabre and like macabre, whatever you pronounce that, and probably like awful. But at the same time, you're like really, really like curious. You're like, this is going to be awesome, probably too.
um does this has the opening kind of style and technology of my of what the Modron does?
No, this is completely different. Like on like if you ask Henri like what do you mean by transform or open or whatever, this is going to be very different probably than
Mhm.
your mode run. Yeah.
Now, in that same thing, I'm going to ask the Modron what it does know.
Okay, so specifically what would you like to ask the mode run?
Once she does her identification and knows some knowledge of it, and from describing it visually, is there any record of an item like this that would have these sorts of properties? If it teleported, where did it go?
Oh, gotcha. Okay. If you give it the exact specifications of the note and you ask the mode run,
Hmm.
yes, go ahead and make a roll.
Is this with advantage?
Yep, this one's with advantage.
All right.
You can do Arcana or History with this, but you have to tell me which one. Yeah.
All right. So we've got a dirty 20, and I will flash of genius that to a 25 just to.
And did you want to ask it this in the magical sense of Arcana or History, like when it's when these have
History,
come into...
actually. History.
Okay, cool. So, these notes are created by high-level mages. These notes have definitely been like passed down in history. There's been like documents of them. This is one of many. There's been 3 different instances of these being used. These are essentially teleportation circles built out of human sacrifice. So they're necromancy based magics where you basically take 2 individuals and you cut out pieces of them, kill them, and then set them up as this. You basically trap their souls, and the soul portion is the actual power of this. Um, and you basically keep them in stasis. So the person is basically in this weird place of death and undeath, and it's the person
Mhm.
that's building the portal. It is great. It's a great sacrifice. Worse, the person used to be a mage because you have to actually kill or murder a mage to do this of decent power, meaning they have to be able to cast at least 3rd level spells, which is pretty powerful in this world. So this was some unfortunate person. Now their body and magic is the conduit between these, but this is the advantage of these things. The reason why you would do this is because you now have a teleportation circle that you can literally move anywhere. It's not permanent. Like you can't
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so and that's the other thing as well. Teleportation circles can be broken. They're pretty relatively fragile. So if you find one out in the world, you can sabotage them, you can break them. This one is awesome because it's a piece of paper that you put on the floor, do the command word, and all of a sudden you have this gateway in 2 different places. It's also really good if you wanted to like get away from something, whatever. Unfortunately, you didn't create it. You don't know where the other place is that it
Mhm.
goes to. And it's also obviously the person who built this probably wasn't the best person, but
Mhm. Would we be able to message or contact that other person?
no, you have nothing to message them or yeah.
So there's a horrible use of magic. Kind of ingenious, but yeah.
So if this thing was created to benefit some kind of evil magic person, should we destroy it?
All right. Do I feel like this is prepaid evil, or is this continually doing evil?
It's the item itself is not continually doing evil. The person who made it is evil. So the
Mhm.
person who made it decided to sacrifice a human or something's life for its convenience. That's evil. But the item itself isn't necessarily evil.
Is the
Yeah.
person or soul or whatever trapped as long as
Oh,
this thing exists?
so that's the thing that you're not sure of. The answer is probably. The
Mhm.
answer is it probably could be in agony as well. Here's the problem though. Killing it is probably just like destroying magic items, complicated.
Mhm.
Possible but complicated.
Probably the best thing to do is dispose of this properly when we are able to. Um, while it's in existence, my guess is someone's bound into whatever afterlife may or may not be there for them. Um, and destroying it the right way would be safe and potentially free them. But destroying it wrong could be problematic. Kind of looks over at Grin when he says that. We can
Fair enough.
investigate it more on how to take it apart.
Okay.
I think if we use it, I don't know that we're causing anyone specific harm, possibly, but kind of the harm has already been in the trapping, not so much the powering. It's questionable.
Well, I don't think we should use it.
Yeah, I see no point in using it.
Getting teleported somewhere where we don't know where is probably a bad idea.
Yep.
Yeah, Abel would correct it. It does create a gate that you can walk through, but at the same time, it's the same Same thing. So once you activate it, you don't. So I was just describing it like a teleportation circle. It's really a gate, but it's still it's still a gateway to somewhere.
And you said you need to attune to it, Henri?
Yeah, yeah, correct. Someone would have to attune to it.
I mean, I guess if we really need to get out of some ways, we could attune to it to do so. We have the timepiece. It doesn't seem like we really need to use that right now.
Yep. Now keep in mind, you know this now, Abel.
Mhm.
This is a two-way street. So
Oh,
it doesn't necessarily mean that you are the only ones controlling this. It could mean that someone put this here to also go through it too. So it's two parts of a magic item. Now here's the thing. If you go through and you grab the other note and you have both, well, you have both. The downside is that there's things that I should mention that were written with the Modron that you would have access to on a 20, and that's one side is traversable, meaning you can pick it up and carry it. The other side is fixed. So the other side, you can attune to it and leave, and then you control both, but it's fixed. Meaning that if someone else were to try to, basically, you can lock it.
so this is the mobile endpoint of the
That's right.
portal
That's
system,
right. That's correct.
and there's a
Yeah.
central.
You are carrying around something that someone could theoretically use and go through on the other side. Here's the thing. If you attune to it, it's now kind of locked on both sides if someone else doesn't attune to it. And there's a whole process for that, which I will explain. But you have to use it in order to get through it. So once you use this item, if it is indeed locked on the other side, meaning someone else is attuned to it, there is a whole mechanism for using it at that point. It's still usable, but there's some things you have to do magically to figure that out. Um, but unfortunately, to get to that point, someone has to attune it and use the item.
So I have a lead lockbox that's made with an inch of lead that blocks a lot of magic. I don't know if this is too powerful to block that kind of magic,
You certainly
but
couldn't scry it, yeah. So if somebody was looking for it, you know for sure, Kino, from your past in the Tomb of Horrors, that if somebody was looking for this thing, then yes, lead would block it. If the magic uses scrying to find it, theoretically, this would block it. If that's the mechanism that it uses to find it. Like if it
w-
needs to scry it, find it, and then open it, that would work.
if I give the box over to Abel and ask him if he like, based on what the Modron told him and what Henri found out with the Identify, does it sound like this would cut the connection if I put it in this box and we put it like in the bag of holding?
Abel, you're a smart guy. What you could also do is throw this in the bottom of the ocean or somewhere dangerous and just let whoever comes through
Yep.
enter that. So
Well, if we wanted to carry it around with us, I feel like if it operated and formed its portal and it was in a closed space, would it override the
you'd have to do
container?
experimentation. You'd have to experiment. You'd have to open it and see because there's lots of magic items that could just break a lead box if they're transforming. Your Modron could do that. So you don't know. The answer is you're not sure. It would require experimentation.
I like putting it in there better than not putting it in there, but I don't know if that's. I can't assure you that that shuts it down.
Don't we have like a
It
pocket
seems like that
dimension
would.
box?
Yeah, that would be surefire, probably, right? So.
Mm,
Like
What
if that's the case, no matter what, they're going to go in the pocket dimension. Doesn't mean they can't escape your bag of holding, but or the other thing. Like maybe they can, maybe they can't. But yeah,
Is that
Oh, the Shadowfell box?
pocket dimension
that's what I
horrible
think he's talking
enough
about.
where that would be a deterrent to people jumping in there?
That's always a possibility, I guess.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's probably the best idea is tucking it away in that portal pocket
Yeah.
dimension.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, who has that?
I do.
How do you have that, by the way? That
I have it. It's big.
Yeah.
It's in between my shield and my backpack and my person.
Okay.
I have it
All
all
right. So it's on your
sandwiched.
back. It's on your back essentially.
Yeah, I have it
Yeah.
sort of because I got rid of one of my shields to hold on
Okay.
to it,
Okay.
and also just
That's
to
what I
kind of
was asking.
obscure it.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, because it's like 2 feet by 4 feet or
Yeah.
something.
It's kind of exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Sort of like how I was doing with the
The
Electrum
book.
book
Yep.
before.
The book. Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Mhm. W- I, this is not the helm or whatever thing potentially, right?
Sorry. What do you mean by that, Abel?
Wasn't there the chest that we thought had to do from the sunblight? This isn't
Yeah.
at
This
all
is this
related.
is no. This was found somewhere else, and
Okay.
this is the one where all those weird pixies started attacking people that went down there. I think Johnny and Keenan
Okay.
went down there. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just didn't want to be putting random
Yeah.
powerful magic sources together,
Yeah.
yeah, we got
at
this
least in an
one.
uncontrolled circumstance.
I don't think we've tried experimenting moving it around with stuff in it.
Um,
Probably not.
Mm. I mean, we might be getting close to the time where it is safe, but not this very moment.
Um, and also to bring up the thing with the pixies could get in.
That's right. You're not even sure that it's a pocket dimension. It's your best guess. You don't know.
It
You have
could
no
just be
idea.
a door to the Shadowfell that I'm schlepping around on my back, and we're gonna throw a.
It's definitely its own dimension. Right.
Yeah. But
Right.
what's to say that one can't take the note?
The pixies were definitely getting in. You don't, and you believe they probably were able to get out, but you don't know that for sure. Like maybe pixies go in there and starve to death, but you didn't see any bodies or anything. Yeah.
So maybe we shouldn't put the note in there. I didn't see any bodies.
Yeah. I mean, the Shadowfell is an incredible. Abel, this is you thinking this. The Shadowfell is an incredible, amazing place. It's just dangerous and scary, and everything wants to kill you there, and you
Hmm.
do die or get, at least you don't necessarily die slowly, Abel, you would know this, but you do become engriefed slowly, meaning that it is a place of sorrow, and it does
Hmm.
eventually kill normal humans eventually after years of being in there, like 40 or 50. You kind of die of grief. Doesn't mean that you would but there's magic to help with that.
Yeah. Um, I say put it in the box in in the dimension, and I think that's our best quick answer right now, and then move on, and we'll think about it as we go and research it more when we can take a break.
All right. Once we clear this keep, we'll do that.
Hmm.
Is there not the top too?
we have not.
No, we're
I'd
yeah.
also like to check this door out before we move on, Chris.
Yeah. Show me on the maps again which door though. That one. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yep. Yeah. Do you want? It's the same thing. It's locked. They all seem to be locked. Do you want to try to open it the Grinway?
Sure.
Okay.
The
All right.
Grinway.
Okay.
Can I use athletics to do that?
Yeah. You can use athletics. Yep. Yep. Athletics, I think, is strength based anyway. It is. Yeah. Yeah. You can
Hmm.
definitely use athletics. Yeah.
19.
Yep. Okay. Um. So you go ahead and open this door. Like you bust through it. Um And then this is a little interesting. So this is actually a balcony. And it's a weird kind of like setup because you couldn't actually see this from outside. There is a large glass like crystal wall that you're looking at, and you never saw this from the outside. As a matter of fact, from the outside it doesn't even look like there's a balcony. You remember this coming into the castle, because you came in from the front. This is weird, and you're looking out and there's like this crystal like glass wall that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Hey guys, come check out this crystal glass wall. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys can see, but even from this thing here, you notice there's this area here. Well,
Mhm.
it doesn't really truly match up from the outside, if you notice. So here, so
Okay.
I try and touch the floor there with my foot, like not putting my weight on it, just to see if it's really there.
it does seem like it's solid.
Mhm. I will send my defender in there.
Sure.
We'll
The
walk
defend,
around real fast.
yeah, the defender, it's solid.
Okay.
Your defender's able to walk around and look at things or whatever. It's solid. Only one person. This is only big enough for 2 people at the most.
Mhm. I will have it touch the wall, not
The
particularly
crystal first.
roughly.
Yeah, no, it's solid. Abel, you already have a guess to what this could be, but you're not entirely sure until you start doing an investigation.
Mhm.
Some kind of observatory thing that's it's surprising though. I mean, this is complicated, expensive, magical architecture that
Mhm.
you wouldn't necessarily expect in this place. It's been very basic so far.
He's very adept at jewelry and glassmaking, among um, was kind of like
Yep.
his original kind of focus.
Yep.
He'll take some dimensions and try to notice the light coming in and the light coming in from, the
This is some
ruin
kind of
part.
weird magic. Yeah, it's something crazy magic, expensive magic. It's also you also notice that the glass has almost invisible etchings, but you notice them. Whatever this is expensive and well made. So
Mhm. Um, I will point out the etchings to my friends before I invite them in to look at it. I'll try to decipher them as best I can with my skills.
yeah. Do you? I was gonna say,
Yep.
do you want to take your defender out and go look at them?
Yep.
Okay, right off the bat, do an Arcana check. But right off the bat, Abel, when you step in, you notice that this wall gives you an amazing view of the entire town here.
Okay.
Best without having this is not something you need to tune with whatever. Even just looking around, it actually shows you inside of the structures, which is alarming, but also awesome to you. You can see within the structures. It also focuses and zooms in on the area that no longer has a nightstone. So whoever used this could see the entire village through the walls and have good vantage points at every single person within this town.
This is odd. This isn't something I've seen before. Um, I mean,
And completely out of place for such a kind of mundane village and structure.
very thorough in its um levels of observation, and I start explaining it to the rest of the party. I don't know if it would really bother Abel. He'd probably know other people might not being watched
Right.
like that.
Right. Well, right. Because, I mean, whoever was using this room could watch people as they slept, all that stuff. Yep.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Whoever the lord of this castle was some kind of pervert.
And that's the other thing that's interesting. You think about that, Grin, because that's a great idea. You think about it and you're like, where the hell did the Lord stay? Like, there is no place. Maybe this room? Maybe the Lord
Maybe
stayed here? Maybe in this room? But it's like not super nice. But maybe.
maybe he was just very caring about what they're up to.
No, just the city. You can't see further. It's just it's tuned and made specifically to see this, and this it's still awesome. Like, it's still too far away to see everything as well as you can see it through here. And when you focus on certain buildings, it does go through and actually like allow you to, as if there's a magnifying glass that allows you to enhance in there, see into the buildings and see. And by the way, there's no one in any of these buildings, including this one, when you look in. But most importantly, when you first walk in, it always focuses on the Nightstone, which is now missing.
Huh. That is strange. I mean, probably it's something they cared very much about, and this is how they would protect it.
Now we're in places, by the way, that the module doesn't even touch. So
Do I feel like if I kind of get in and play with it a little bit, does it seem to be ranged off of this spot, or it's somehow in connection with sensors or viewpoints all over?
well, it was certainly built. It was built from scratch to do its job here. It's
Mhm.
also built to be completely invisible from the outside. And best, this is not illusion magic, Abel. This is some kind of crazy built thing. You don't know yet, and you'd have to do, if you really want to spend time on this, you're going to have to really spend time on this. But it's not, this is not a simple illusion at all. There's something else crazy going on with this thing. And it is it's I mean, the glaringest part to you is this is completely and utterly out of place. This kind of awesome magic is something you've never ever had the chance to even look at or play with or touch before. And it doesn't even seem like if whoever created this must have been like mini mages, or mages that are way more powerful than you expect to like find or know about. Because here's the other thing, here's the other symptom of you leveling. As you start to level, Abel, you have now become the most powerful magic user that you know, for a large portion of it. Now, you're a smart guy. You assume there are people, and you've heard stories of people who are much more powerful, but they're so rare. It's almost like you're talking about fables and superheroes and other
Yep.
things like that. So this is where it gets a little murky for you. But that said, this thing is incredible, and it gives you the idea that there is more going on in the outside world. This is an incredible magic item.
Do you see anyone else in the town now that you have X-ray vision through the entire town?
And
Um,
he tells you he sees no. Yeah, you look through every structure, Abel. There's
mm,
no one. You've no idea where that old man went.
yeah, it's empty now. Even that old man's gone. I mean, is it a like starting to get towards dark where maybe people would go off to their? I mean, I'd see them in their homes if they were here, but
That's right. Yeah.
um,
He made a pretty big deal about not leaving the town. This window, is it like the whole wall, or is it something we could
Entire
remove?
wall.
Okay.
It's actually super well made. It's not only is it the whole wall, but it's one pane of this relatively thick etched glass that when you
mhm.
walk in gives you these amazing like views into these areas or whatever, as if it's like magically creating these lenses that perfectly follow your vision in every single thing. But when you walk in, it's always zoomed in on the Nightstone first. Oh, of course, where the Nightstone was first.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, this would be kind of a cool. I mean, it's an
For any
abandoned.
place. Abel, you think about this too. It's like wow, like you don't. I mean, you don't know, but I mean, like every amazing city should have something like this. Like this is, but at the same time, you're pretty sure they don't.
I mean, we could probably. I don't know. Part of me would like to somehow see if we could acquire this town. Thing is, no one's here and it's abandoned. I don't know how that works.
Literally, you can do anything, so that would definitely be something on the table. You just have to fortify it or whatever, but that, of course, is on the table. You
Mhm.
could, of course, always take anything. You guys could actually take Neverwinter, probably. But soon you could take Neverwinter, probably.
Hmm.
You just have to deal with the consequences, but you could take it temporarily for sure.
Let's
Yeah.
table that for now. Finish off this castle here.
Yep.
I march on over to the stairs and head up.
Okay.
I'll follow close behind.
All right. All right. So, yep. Go ahead and put your miniatures where you'd like to be. Perfect. All right.
W-
So, so you get to the top, and Grin. The first thing you might try to do is also look from the outside to see if you see that balcony, and sure enough, you don't. Which is confusing. And you also look up and you do see that there is something up here again that you didn't see from looking up, and there's a very small little spike. It's only 2 feet or so in the air, and it's right here. It's very sharp, but it's that dot right there.
It's a spike.
Yep. So basically what it is it's only 2 feet tall. It's got a very sharp point. It's metallic. It looks like it's made out of some silvery metal, maybe even like iron or so, but it is shiny. And it's very sharp. But that's the only thing that's up here. And again, that's above the room that you guys were in with all the skeleton people.
So if I look at it, what kind of material would I guess it to be made out of?
It does look like it's made out of some kind of like alloyed, like maybe iron, maybe steel. But it does look like it's smelted in the same kind of material that you would expect good sturdy swords to be made out of. That said, it doesn't necessarily look like it's like, anything special in regards to that, but it is strangely out of place up here.
Is there anything around the base or like grooves or any?
So the one thing that is interesting when you start looking at your character, when you start looking at Ryan, you're not exactly sure how it's fastened to the floor. It's like it's completely flush. Meaning you don't see an obvious way that this thing was actually like nailed in or even like bolted in. It's literally just flush, like the actual stones. It's as if it was always there, and the stones just naturally fit around it. There's no seam at all when you look very closely.
I kick it lightly.
All right, all right, Gren. When you make contact with it, dexterity saving throw.
Danger sense.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you get danger sense with it. Yeah, it's fine.
Henry, what are you doing? Get away from the edge.
16.
All right. So it does blow you back 10 feet. And you're gonna have to take like 13 points of damage. It seems. By the way, I think you have something that actually helps you with electrical damage, right?
Nope, that would have been if I was still
Oh, gotcha. Okay, then you take the
under
13
right
points
now.
of damage. It does blow you back 10 feet though. Yeah, you move in this direction here. Yeah. Yeah, so you
Now,
fly past Orion and Kino. Yeah, it didn't like that.
don't touch that.
I mean, I would have guessed not to kick it.
Well, I wanted to see if it was, sturdy.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sturdier than you.
You know what?
What
Why
do
don't
you
you go
think
touch
its
it?
torsional rigidity is? What measure would you put it to?
What?
Yes, exactly.
No, you can't touch.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yep. Go for it.
I don't see why I'm getting such attitude from Kino and
13.
Ava.
Well, the only thing that you do know is that this is definitely put here in some capacity. It is probably magic, especially from what you saw happen to Gren, and you know that it's probably set up. Your guess is you have a couple guesses. Number one, maybe it's a way to communicate because it is at the top of this fortress. Also, possibly maybe it has something to do, although this would need to be incredibly powerful, with like defense or control weather. The other possibility is that it could theoretically have something to do with maybe what happened to people downstairs. Maybe it's set up as this weird trap or whatever. But these are just guesses you're having, Henri.
Oh, Chris, Insight Guidance today, I got a 4 on the roll, so that would have been a 17 if that makes a difference.
Okay. So the only, I guess the only other thing that you would get out of the 17 is that this probably has more to do with so it probably has multiple uses, probably something to do with communication and defense, if you had to guess. That's
Duly
right.
noted.
Yeah.
Now, this cannot be identified because you need to touch it. So keep that in mind. Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
But see, Gren, you did a good thing. You did a really good job because otherwise Audrey would identify that and she would have gotten hit. And theoretically, she could have gotten thrown over the castle wall. So,
Yo.
Yeah, that's what I
Yikes.
do.
yep. Yep. So, yeah. So that's the other thing that's interesting. Butterball tells you Butterball didn't see this. That's the weird thing. Butterball clearly sees that it's glowing. Butterball didn't see this before. Butterball, remember Butterball was around the castle flying up. He never saw this ever. And he tells you that, Henry. Or she, what am I saying? She tells you that. What am I saying? Yeah, Butterball, she tells you that she never saw this. And she's sure. She's absolutely sure that she would not have missed this.
Well, there's no elves here.
Just me.
Yeah, barely.
I asked Modron if it sees it. Measure it.
Would you want to ask the Modron what this could be or something like that?
Right now, I'm asking if it sees it.
Yeah, the Modron does see the spike. Yep.
Okay.
No, sorry, to be very clear, she sees it now too. So Butterball sees this now, but Butterball did not see it when she was doing her rounds. Because she did fly around here to do like a check.
I will ask it. Is there any recorded descriptions of magical or arcanic devices using this sort of spire?
Go ahead and do your roll.
Wow.
It's all right. It's too much for the Modron, and it shuts down on you. You can try to push it, but it
Mhm.
would cause damage.
I,
Not
I
answer your
guess this is
question.
pretty rare.
Yeah.
Does it seem to be like a metal that conducts electricity well?
Yeah, it does. It does seem like that. Yeah. You didn't see any like lightning come out of it though. I mean, come from the
Mhm.
sky or anything, but yeah. But here's the thing that you're starting to put together, Abel, privately to yourself. This town must have been way more important than it seemed from
Yeah.
the outside.
It, has,
Now
it
you're starting
seems
to put two and two together because, like, what the fuck? It's got crazy defenses for a podunk town in the middle of nowhere already. It's got crazy material defenses. Like, look at the way it's built. It's got like a moat. It's got like some crazy other shit. Like, then it's got these other insane magical items. Now, sure enough, no matter what, all it took was something to come in here and like grab this thing. but there's definitely more going on here. It's definitely very apparent to you now that there was always more going on here.
Mhm.
Maybe because of the artifact, but you don't know.
I mean, perhaps if we get another chance, we can consider researching who this location actually belongs to and is in control by. That might lead to who's babysitting the taken item, I guess.
What's your intelligence, Abel? What's your intelligence? 20?
20?
Yeah. The only other thing that you would get, I think, from passively, because you are a genius essentially, is that the other things that really do make sense here is that the best way, the absolute best way to hide an open secret is also like, yeah, make it look like it doesn't have a bunch of magic on it. Although just build crazy defenses to keep the locals out, like for
Mhm.
literally like the barbarian tribes and the low level people that like bandits and stuff. But
Mhm.
then also make sure there's nothing important. And there wasn't. This town had nothing important in it at all.
Yeah.
But it had like a black stone in it, but I mean, other than that, it had literally nothing important.
Somebody
And
came for that, yeah.
and we're looking at like maybe 20 people lived here, 30 people lived here at the most. With just a couple families, farmers and some other things. And then it had this garrison castle, and that's it. So this would kind of be the perfect place to hide something super, super, super powerful. Because
I
nobody would come to look at it. It's just a huge pain in the ass. Yeah.
Mhm.
So there was
Clearly somebody wanted it enough to go through the complexity.
we got a green ghost on the bottom floor, a fancy window on the second floor, and a lightning spike on the roof. What the hell is going on in this place?
It's possible
There
that
was
the
a
person
better
that was
thief
here.
than the security.
Was the ghost part of the security?
Possibly.
You don't think so, Abel. You don't guess so.
I
You
mean,
think that ghost is
he's
some other
tied to that
random
other
shit.
plane, so
Yeah.
probably.
There's
I
some
mean,
other
that's
random shit going on here, you think, but you don't know.
does seem
And
out of character with the other defenses.
And the
And
one
if
thing
there's
you would also know as a genius is that maybe multiple powerful things all decided at some point at once or whatever that they were going to come here and do some shit. And that's probably why the ghost is here too.
Mhm. I would discuss that.
Yeah.
Restate that. I mean, I'm hesitant to mess around with it. If we can find out what it does and what purpose it serves, that'll help us lead back to who took it and maybe how to recover, but
Yep.
just randomly damaging it, we might need this to function at some point. Right now, it's just a really good lock laying in an empty dungeon.
So this castle is ours now, right? This is our new home. This is our new house.
I don't really
I
want
mean, we
this
can look
one.
into the squatters' rights for sure.
there's nothing here though.
That's the point. Nobody can kick us out now.
It's
No, but I
got
mean, like,
some
there's not even like
bad.
bedrooms.
Yeah, but we'll make bedrooms. Nobody can
It's got
run
some
us out
bad
of town.
juju going on. There's some literal skeletons in the closet here.
We won't lose the house to dwarves, and we won't get run out by the lord of the city. This is our house now.
I don't really want
Well, it's
this.
hard
This
to
house.
assure you won't get run out by the mass lords or whatever.
We are the lords now, so we can't be run out.
This has got some
I'm
bad
not sure land
ties.
deeds work that way.
You guys, all of you are a little surprised, Abel especially, but all of you are a little surprised. And even the old man told you this. Why the hell hasn't someone just retaken it? You know what I mean? This is amazing land. Now, granted, it is hard if you're a barbarian out there with no home, because there are tribes that actually go through here. Grin, I think you know that. Yeah, Grin would know this more than anyone. There are tribes of people that don't have resources and houses, and yeah, they would take it. This is actually like perfect, especially for a small tribe. It's got like enough for your whole tribe to be in here, whatever. Why hasn't it been taken? Now, granted, maybe it's because it is a pain in the ass. It's pretty well defended, but there's no one here. There's only like an old man and a couple people. So that's one riddle. So where is the people that should be taking this? It is also possible from the outside. It doesn't actually look like it's that damaged at all. So it is also possible this was business as usual. No one takes this because they think they're going to get peppered with arrows and die. And quite frankly, this is super well defended in that regard. It's such a pain in the ass to take if you're just a tribe trying to do it and people are out there. So maybe that's the reason. Maybe it isn't. There's definitely more going on here, though.
The map hasn't shown anything since we've moved up the floors, correct?
No. So do you mean
Volo's map.
Oh yeah, no. As a matter of fact, it doesn't. I mean, now granted, Volo's map doesn't show you every magic item within the world, only ones the guy has already placed there. So, like you said, there were magic items that the map didn't show. That said,
Yeah.
though, no, there's nothing on the map.
Okay.
I mean,
Again,
personally, I
this is
feel
just a
like
place you guys randomly went to. That's the other thing to keep in mind. But yeah.
I
personally, I
feel like
feel
it's a
like
sign of a very powerful group operating in relative secrecy. Maybe it's the Brotherhood or something along those lines to protect valuable assets, dangerous assets.
I think that it's similar to that, but it's not anybody of local nature. And by local,
Yeah.
I mean of this world.
Yeah, we just stumbled on a rat's nest.
Yeah, because think about where the guard's portal led to. I think that whoever is setting up in here is from there.
So that's the one thing you do know. That's your hint, Abel, is that you
Yeah.
do have a portal that goes somewhere. I mean, that's part of the secret, maybe, unless that was placed here by
So
someone else.
someone was trying to set up a portal to
Yep.
what was it? Shine.
Oh yeah, Shyish. So
Shaiish.
that as well. That was happening too. Yep.
So presumably they had interest here, or someone who came here had interest in getting there, or contacts there. There was a random portal that we could go to and find out. I don't know where that is, and if it could necessarily get us back here or someplace that I know well. But we do have, a way to jump out if we need to be.
Well, now that we've checked out the whole entire city, what should we do?
Butterball doesn't see anything up here besides the lightning rod thing, right?
That is correct. Nothing else glows.
I don't know. I feel like we've kind of hit a dead end.
I mean, we could take whatever legal steps to claim it if we wanted it, I suppose. Most of that'll be defending it and holding it, but
Yeah, so
Yeah.
everyone knows that the Lord's Alliance is what's keeping together land deeds. You know that for when it comes to like actual land ownership, you would have to probably start going to it's at least a city as large as like Waterdeep or something to inquire about who actually has the rights. That would potentially let you get more information on why it hasn't been reclaimed potentially. It can
at
also
least
just
have
cause problems because any of the lords that realize that this is also abandoned could also double cross you, and it's always treacherous when you do stuff like that, but it's a possibility as well.
I mean, I think that's probably how the system's meant to work and internally balance itself, but you probably have to go tell whoever the rightful holder is that you're taking it and then take it. And then other people know that's going on and they could decide whether they want to throw their hat in and maybe people just don't want to mess with you for whatever the spot is.
The thing that is still interesting to you though is why hasn't that already happened? This has been months, but anyway.
Mhm.
Well, then, how do you think we should go
Yeah.
about it, Abel? Good talk. Meet again next week.
Yeah, Abel, I think your best guess would be a major city, the closest major city.
What is that? Is that Neverwinter?
It's
I think
actually
it's Waterdeep.
Waterdeep. It's
Waterdeep?
Waterdeep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
that would
boy.
probably be about as official as possible.
Yeah, but do we want to show up in Waterdeep? All
I
the
mean,
faces.
that's where our new friends went.
That's where our new friends went. That's where, the copies went. I mean, that's where brother is.
Let's go to Waterdeep.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to
Who's
that, but
likely to have a bounty on us or anything like that?
I mean, right now the only one that you really know about is potentially the Brotherhood, and you're not sure how that works. They just were looking for you in question to the book, but you don't know again how any of that works. No one's been scryed yet. The reason why I believe Kino is hesitant is because Kino, like I think the most of the party would know that if for whatever reason you have become famous enough to be known about, it would take another location ping for you to get back in trouble. Once someone knows your location, it's really easy for them to start scrying you again.
I'm also talking about the murderous
location.
doubles and whatever brother is up to within the city. Because
That's
we know
correct as
our
well. Yeah.
doubles were
If
running
he's there at
rampant
all.
for months. If he's there at all, I'm just saying what Kino would know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
uh,
I feel like on a certain level, we're sort of obligated to check out where our doubles are and what they're up to.
I think it's being taken care of, and it's sort of a deal of like Lucretus was dealing with them, and we kind of just want to let him work. Like if there's a mason in your house, you let him work. If there's, you don't bother him until the job's finished.
Yes, certainly.
Person
Remember that.
personally, I want to go back to Daggerford because I feel like we saw there was stuff going on. We kind of just walked away from it, and even if it's too powerful for us to deal with right now, I think we should get answers or get an inkling as to what's going on there, what influences have taken hold of the city, just so we can report back. I would also maybe before we embark, I would like to find a quiet corner, maybe in this keep. Who knows? I kind of want to just drop a line to Karsus, maybe, or you know, or Artemis.
It sounds like what you're saying is that we are going to risk putting ourselves back on the map.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's a wrong choice. It's a choice that should be made intentionally.
Hey, Chris, what time of day is it?
It's just becoming like dusk now. So like 5, 6, but the sun is starting to go down.
So
At the
we
very
should
least,
probably make some plans to take a long rest before we head out again, right?
Oh, certainly.
yeah. Why don't we? I mean, Henri, do you have any? Are you opposed to maybe talking to one of our mage friends?
what do you mean?
Okay, I just want to make sure
Um, wait, no,
because
sorry,
it's
am
been
I
a
missing
while.
something?
No, I just
That was
Uh,
Amanda.
be-
That was Amanda asking. Like, am I missing something?
no, I just wanted to see if because I know Honor used to be like blech, Artemis blech.
Yeah, but remember, you guys changed my past.
I know. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah.
Because it's been a while since they got an update. I think they deserve to know a little bit of what's going on, and I think we could also get some get some news to about what's going on. We've been quite separated.
That sounds good. So should we just stay here for the night?
I'm worried about right here, like in this tower, maybe.
Do you think one of the houses in the actual like city part would be better?
I think that would
Seems
be
like it would
worse.
be a really.
I would say it's either
I
this
mean-
keep or the woods, because I mean, people can see right into the houses. We saw that.
What people?
Whoever, I have a feeling that whoever inhabited this keep disappeared as soon as they heard us fighting.
I have a feeling they used that note we found to disappear. So if we take
Exactly.
that out of the keep, they can't just appear back in it.
It's not a bad idea. Or, we throw it in the bag of holding.
I mean, if we found a cabin in the woods, we might stay there. This is 50 times safer than a cabin in the woods.
We can make a hut in the woods. Also, maybe if we sleep in the room with the skeletons, if somebody tries to talk to whoever was in the castle with that electric spire thing, maybe we'll get the message instead and we'll get a hint.
You want to sleep in the room with the skeletons?
We've slept in worse places.
It reminds her of
There's
home.
other rooms without skeletons that we don't understand.
I feel like if we're going to stay in town, we should stay in the temple. It's the only building not damaged.
It's a
Yeah,
little
but they
damaged.
can
That's
just
fair.
look into it.
That's if they can
It
get
has
back in
damage
the
in the
keep.
yard.
So if we think it's safe enough in the keep because nobody can get into it, then it's safe enough in the city because no one can get into the keep and spy on us.
They also cast a modify memory on two of our companions. It's possible they could just gate into the keep or teleport or anything.
That is one thing to keep in mind, is that you still actually don't really know who cast that. That is strange, right?
And Butterball hasn't seen any. Like, you've given the command to Butterball that if she sees anything throughout this entire thing, invisible people watching us, scrying orbs, anything, she'll tell us, right?
I feel like I would have said that to her at some point.
That's fine. That's fine, yeah. That's fine. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But for a second, what do you think was going on here? In your opinion?
I think there was a mage, maybe two elves, or that appeared to be elves. We got to the bottom. We fought their guard dog. We made a large amount of ruckus, and they both dipped before we could find them, and they used the note. That's what I think happened.
I think it was an elf because, well, no, let me take that back.
I don't think we can trust anything that old man said.
I think there's someone
I
here
would
that
tend
is
to
no
agree
longer
with the
here.
guy.
That's fine. Maybe they weren't an elf. Maybe they were someone else. But I think there
I
was
mean-
someone here that is no longer here.
What was to be taken from here seems like it has been taken. Unless this is some elaborate ruse to get at us. I think we're relatively safe here because we're not the target of whatever these powerful beings are. If we walk away like we're probably going to walk away, and, it's in their best interest to let us get bored and go on our way like adventurers do. If there's some nefarious thing beyond what was being kept here. Whatever they are trying to portal in from there, that seems to have been at least greatly disrupted. Maybe they'll be mad at us for that. I don't feel like there's a real reason for someone to mess with us other than out of vanity. And kind of probably show themselves by now if that were the case. When I'm going through the situation, that's how I see it. Whoever came by and dropped rocks and took treasure from here, for the most part. I seeing it wrong?
I think the thing that we're forgetting is that the thing that this place still has is secrecy. It's hidden. People don't need treasure and coins and jewels and stuff. They can just use this shell of a keep to operate out of. We've seen that there's very powerful magic downstairs, and the portal still might be up. I think that's all people need in a place like this. And I think that whatever was powerful enough to open that portal downstairs that we killed has connections, and I think more of them are going to show up eventually. So we should just be careful.
So what's the verdict?
Or
Are we
get out of
scared
here
or we
before
dead?
nightfall.
That's also possible.
Do you think
Mhm.
maybe we should start heading to Daggerford, and then however far we get, we just set up camp?
I'm not against it.
I think that's definitely an option. That's one I'm not opposed to as well.
And
Okay.
to be clear, where are
Let
we
me-
headed?
Let me set you guys up with the overworld map so you can get a much better idea. So,
And then maybe that's when we can drop a line, is once we're setting up camp and
Yeah.
making a fire, summoning the orb. The
so you
dome.
guys are in Nightstone right now, which is here. You're here. You need to go all the way back to Daggerford.
How far travel is it in like time?
So they're each hex is 5 miles, and it is
About 30 miles.
yeah, it's exactly. It's a little exactly. It's around 30 miles. And then I was just looking at this, so give me 1 second. I want to make sure that we get this right because it's going to set the tone for the entire thing, and I want to make sure that it's yeah. So it depends. So if you guys want to do 8 hours of travel, 8 hours of rest, and then also have downtime and not push yourselves, you can make
Mhm.
24 miles. If you want to push yourselves, which is fine, you just take a point of exhaustion through the whole thing, you can get double that. You can do 48 miles, but you do need to take a point of exhaustion to do it. The nice thing to do though is around 24 miles with everything you're carrying. This is without having pack animals and stuff. If you get animals, it's modified a bit, and if you get a cart and better ways to travel, you can do more. But for now, I think Kino, you have a horse, right? You have a
I
steed or something.
have a fine steed. How much if not everyone has an animal? If I
Yeah.
only have one, does that modify it at all?
No, because you have to keep up with the group unless you're going to go ahead.
Nah, never mind.
So yeah, so it's right now it's 24 miles. 24 miles easy, or you could double move and just take your point of exhaustion.
I would love a long rest,
I could use a long rest.
and I still have a point of exhaustion.
I say we travel the 24, take camp somewhere, take a long rest.
Yep.
I
Okay.
agree.
Okay. And you guys still see the map up, right? It's
Yes.
up for you? Okay, cool. All right. I just got it back. Okay. And keep in mind, you guys can go anywhere. You can literally go anywhere. So whatever you want to do. But
Let's go to Baldur's Gate.
you could literally go to Baldur's Gate. You can go to you could, you could say, fuck it, I'm gonna go to like Olumbora or Olumbora, I'm just gonna get a boat. You could, do anything you want.
Let's go to Rashomon.
I mean,
Yep.
Let's
Eh,
hop a boat and go to Chult.
eh.
Yep.
ew.
Let's go to Avernus.
Yeah.
Hmm. Going
Yeah.
someplace with a well-developed
Avernus is the tough one. Like Avernus, Shadowfell, Feywild, those are a little tougher, but very possible.
It's
Oh,
on
we
the
just have
bucket
a
list.
Phandalin.
Yeah.
Oh, that would
Honestly,
be the dream.
Cormair's amazing. You go to Cormair, there's all kinds of things you could do. But
I would like
My
to
I'd like
hometown's
eventually.
on the way to Cormier.
Yeah.
We can stop in
that
and see
is
my
the one
folk.
advantage of this open world thing. It makes it a little tough on me, but the reality is you can literally do anything you want. You guys just happen to randomly go here. There's hundreds of other places just like this. They may or may not be as important. You're gonna have to figure that out on your own. But literally, I mean, like every single one of these places has something that's interesting.
What's the
Like
best center of technology that's not like super
Waterdeep
dwarven?
right now. Well,
Waterdeep.
closest. That's water. Oh, sorry. You mean in general?
Yeah.
Well, so there's a couple of different places. So there's Neverwinter is one of those places.
Mhm.
Also, you would know that there's so there's basically a bunch of rumors about the Castle of Illusion, which is literally supposed to be a very, very secret like mage tower. The rumor is that it's not. The rumor is that it's actually set up as this crazy technological wonder where people are creating magic items and all kinds of things. But the cover story is that it's a high level mage tower that's very, very dangerous. That's a rumor you would know as an artificer because
Mm.
it's a specifically an artificer thing. That would be probably one of the more interesting places. Unfortunately, that's up all the way up by Lurkwood, Moonwood. It's actually a little bit by the spine of the world. It's cold up there. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's north of Mithril Hall. It's north of like the Evermoors. I'll show it to you, Abel. It's this right here. But
One
so
sec.
I mean, it's it's not the
Okay.
easiest place in the world to get to. That's the other thing you guys will realize while you're traveling. You can get jumped. You'll see. It's going to be very, very, very obvious random encounters as you start traveling. But the other thing that's going to also happen is that some of this shit is dangerous.
Mhm.
It's not as easy as just hey, I want to go here. There's going to be some shit going on. But
And if there's things we need to get done because it's best for the people at large, you know, I don't want to
now,
dawdle, but
some
at
of
the
the
same
things that are
time, I have training I could do that would be beneficial to our long-term goals.
Yep. And some of the things that you guys have heard stories of in this general area when you learn looking at the map, there's
Mhm.
stories of the dancing falls. They literally, so it's basically this waterfall that dances around because water nymphs or something envelop it and like turn like it's an amazing wonder to look at. Um Also, the Star Mountains are called the Star Mountains because they literally glow at night sometimes. No one knows why. There's definitely things within the immediate thing. You would have heard stories of the Arctic forest, sorry, having like literally the rumor is there's a portal to the abyss or the portal to somewhere else that you can go and like leave Faerun. No one's ever found it. No, you don't even know if it's real. That's a thing. Um, you know very little or nothing about the Crypt Garden Forest. No one does in this group.
Mhm.
The Sword Mountains are called the Sword Mountains just because they're defendable. Um, However, right above it there is this thing called the Mirror of Dead Men, um, and that's also pretty obscure. You guys can make a history check if you want to know more about that.
Sure. Dean.
19 is the highest. All right. So the Mirror of Dead Men. Who rolled the 19?
Honor.
Henry, you
Wow.
remember that the Mirror of Dead Men was like it was basically a cold saltwater swamp, so it smells awful. It was like it used to be a long time ago this incredibly desolate place that people didn't go into because it did smell so bad and because it was kind of like damp and cold all the time and no one could figure out why. Anyway, what ended up happening though is basically this swamp had a bunch of really, really dangerous monsters in that no one was able to like categorize or go into because I kept dying. And then it was full of these trees that literally had bones sticking out of them, or some of the trees were made with bones. And the rumor was that maybe a bunch of corpses were buried there a long time ago or something, and it's just this huge place of undead necromancy. That's actually why it's called what it's called. The thing that you know though, you heard this from maybe maybe you heard this from Artemis, was that it's actually overrun with trolls, and one of the trolls that actually does like rule the other trolls somehow learned necromancy, and in doing that, he actually raises undead, and he sends trolls in to kill people for his army and creates things. That's the like running rumor right now. There are some other things that that did happen there. You're a little vague on them. There was something called the Black Death, and there was a cult. Um, you do know this. This is private information that you do not have to say, but the Cult of the Dragon had something to do with this area, meaning they operated there and had a really bad reputation for basically like working with the trolls. And there was some shit going down that you're not really sure of the actual details of it. But the Cult of the Dragon, there was an entire cell that operated out of this place. It's rumored that a black dragon lives in this place as well, but no one's ever seen it.
Oh. Why does Henri know so much about this place of death?
I don't. She may not have told you guys any of that, by the way, but that's
Abel's
that's
so
what you know.
annoyed.
Not with that fucking joke.
She actually apprenticed onto the troll.
Eyes just light up
Yeah.
thinking about the place.
I mean, you don't have to be jealous that I remembered more than you did.
It's an icky place. That's the reason I didn't study it.
I thought you studied everything.
Worth knowing.
Ooh.
Any information is worth knowing. There's power in knowledge.
The time is worth a lot.
Yeah, and don't you spend it studying?
Yeah, I do.
Well, not enough apparently.
Oh shit.
Just
All right.
Hey,
you
Henri,
know.
your Amanda's showing.
Amanda, give Henri the phone back.
Henri and Abel having a slap fight in the corner.
All right, break it up, you two.
But I would repeat what I know about the
Okay.
mirror.
Gotcha.
Everything, by the way, like every piece of information.
Cool.
Getting rid of a army of trolls seems like a necromancer seems like a good thing. Probably kind of dangerous, but
Yeah, if there's any other place on the map that you guys want to know about, just ask me. But I mean, there's so much. There's literally, I could go on forever about this crap. So
and if there's some place where we could, if I can get some of my training in, that's a want. If there's more important things to do, then let's do that.
Where do we go for your training?
Who has runesmithing guilds, Chris?
Neverwinter for sure. Neverwinter is the one that you know about that's famous.
Can we go back
Neverwinter
to
has the
Neverwinter?
best one.
Now you wonder if that other place that I talked about also is going to have. Not only are they going to have guilds, but they are probably also going to have higher level stuff. But getting there is dangerous. But the easy one right now is Neverwinter. There is, by the way, there's an Artificer Guild in Waterdeep too. It's not as famous as Neverwinter, and Waterdeep is certainly a place that you would go to get some of this.
I mean, I don't need all the titles and fancy certificate. I just need them to teach me what to do so I can learn and
Yep.
you know, produce my own inventions.
Let's go
But
there.
yeah,
Then.
Neverwinter is the big shot one.
Well, the problem is I don't know if we can go
Waterdeep.
back to Neverwinter.
Okay.
Aren't we like wanted there?
Yeah, we are. Very
You
much.
guys are so powerful at this point that you could figure something out, I'm sure. That said, you really would have to tackle that head on. If you go back to Neverwinter, understand that that's going to be your primary focus now, is figuring out how to get in with Lord Neverember and fix that situation. It's certainly doable, but it's going to consume you. That's going to be a thing that you'll have to focus on.
We could
We
also
have-
just teleport back into our house, right?
Theoretically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully, if it isn't,
Booby
demolished
trapped.
or someone is living in it.
Well, if someone's living in it, that's no problem. If it's demolished, that's a problem.
Grin has no problem doing a B&E. I'll remember this.
I'm not saying. First of all, it wouldn't be breaking and entering. We'd be teleporting and entering.
T&E.
But I'm
Our
not
own
saying we
house.
like go in and reclaim the house. I'm just saying we won't teleport into a pile of rubble. If we teleport in and there's someone living there, I'm sure we can just be like, "Oh, sorry, teleport went wrong. We'll leave now. Have a good one."
We can always start by talking to his court mage.
Yep.
Who
Sure.
we have.
Let's. So have we been traveling this whole time while we were talking?
I'm assuming.
I
Okay.
mean, where were you guys traveling? I'm sorry.
We want to
Daggerford.
check out Daggerford
Daggerford?
again.
Daggerford, that's what I thought. Okay. Yep.
Right. Brother is potentially in Waterdeep.
Yep. Brother is
So-
Last we
potentially
know
in
of.
Waterdeep.
I think he is
So-
going to be critical to smoothing over things in Netherwinter.
Yeah. When we find a
Yeah.
place to camp, let's contact Karsus, and then we'll contact Brother. We have message, right?
We do not. I have the ability to copy
Gosh.
it. I just need the time.
Yeah. And the desk or space too.
Yeah,
Correct.
if we were planning on staying in Nightstone, I was going to spend the time instead of traveling copying the spell.
Ah, shit.
Why
All right,
don't we
let's
do
try
that
that.
and then teleport where we need to go?
Let's
Well-
start walking back.
Well, maybe there's a spot in Daggerford we can do it. Maybe.
We couldn't get into Daggerford.
Well,
Yeah.
like
Isn't
Try.
Daggerford
we
like
could do it.
under siege?
I don't need necessarily
Whatever.
a desk. I just need a space that I can focus in. Doesn't necessarily have to be a desk. Like I could
Can-
set up a tiny hut and sit in there and do it.
Mm.
I think, Chris, is that correct?
How many hours?
Yeah. Yeah.
6.
Yeah. Absolutely. You just need to be stationary. You could do it in a tiny hut.
Why
How
don't
far
we do
have
it
we
tomorrow
got?
morning?
What'd you say, Tom?
How far have we gotten?
We are in a town full of buildings that are at the present time safe.
Are we still
No,
in Nightstone?
We've
Walk
been-
into one, put a light on, and have her copy the book.
I see. I thought we were traveling, so I'm asking how far did we get? But if we haven't been traveling, that's fine.
Yeah. So are we still? Are we saying we didn't start traveling? We're still in Nightstone?
No, you're traveling. This is
Right.
all happening on the way, but you wouldn't be able to start the copy until you're somewhere stationary.
Yeah.
So how far did we get?
Oh, so I mean, right now, let's just do all the conversation because it's not gonna. So you guys are gonna do the 24. I assume you're not gonna push yourselves, or are
No. So what we
No.
you?
No.
24 miles.
what we just
So
realized is we want Henri to spend the time to copy the spell. So
Yes.
once she says that, basically everybody's going to be like, well, wherever we are at that second, we're going to stop there and set up camp so Henri has the time to copy the spell.
I see. I got you. Okay, so here, let me show you then.
We're like 10 feet outside of the city, basically. Or
Yeah.
you know,
So
wherever.
right, 10 miles. Yeah. So you would be. So you go ahead and you can actually. I'll just let you do it. Go ahead and move 25. So 5 squares. Go ahead and move 5 squares where you want it to be, and then we'll set up camp there. So right now, you guys were.
So we wouldn't have gone 25 miles because we're going to spend the time, instead of traveling, Henri's going to spend that time copying the spell. Instead of traveling.
Gotcha.
So she still has some
Bring
copies.
her in her hut on the road.
Okay,
Maybe
so
not
tell
on
me.
the road, but
So
behind the
go
tree
ahead and
line.
point. So I'll say that you were able to travel 5 miles. Just point in a direction where you traveled. Move your square. You could do it in the RD forest if you want. It doesn't matter. But then stop, and then we'll put honoring in the hut and go through that, and then we can start the next day.
I
But
think we
where you go is actually going to matter, and that's why I'm saying you guys can decide.
Okay, I think we were talking about Waterdeep, so why not a square that direction?
Well, I thought we were
Oh,
talking
you're not
about
No, I-
Daggerford
we're not
and then
going
Waterdeep.
Or we go into Daggerford?
But regardless, it is up to you guys, because again, there's like random encounters everywhere, and it depends on your square and all that shit. So not only that, it also depends on where you guys decide to go do camp and a lot of other things. So I will let you move. You can move wherever you want, but
I think we all had
Um,
varying ideas where we were in that discussion and when it occurred. I can abide by whatever people want.
We're gonna go
Just
check out
wanna-
Daggerford again.
yep. And then I will let you
So
move one square in any direction you choose. And then once you've done that, yeah, then we'll see. So now that you're in the square where it's basically hovering the Ardeep Forest, are you
Yep.
going to stay in the Ardeep Forest or outside the Ardeep Forest? And then how close you're going to be to the road? Because the road is also in that square. That's a main.
My-
So those black areas, by the way, are all main roads. Those are all traveled roads, meaning that caravans come through. Obviously,
right.
thieves.
So we
Look at
probably
my
my
want to.
head, I want to be like tree line. No, be a little
Please
beyond.
have us get jumped by thieves. I want to nuke some thieves.
I
Okay.
want to sit on the very edge of the road. Let's see what they have. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah,
All right,
please.
we'll do that then.
Please have a thief fuck around and find out with us.
This is gonna go so poorly for us.
Now, if we do that route, are you guys going to stay in the hut though?
Yes.
I would like to,
Yeah.
just so she can copy spells.
Okay, cool. You know the drill. What's the hut look like?
I mean, it's you can't see into it. I'm not gonna let just random people sit and see into it, and it's blue like usual.
Blue. Okay.
Ooh, like
I
a
assume
night
it looks
sky
like a
blue.
milk barn.
Yeah. Spells and so you can command the interior to become dimly lit or dark. The dome is opaque from the outside of any color you choose, but is transparent from the inside. Yeah, so it's just opaque and blue.
Now, are you going to like block the road or be on the side of the road? You're going to be on the side?
Side of the
Side of
road.
the
We're
road.
not assholes.
Yeah.
Or most
Just
of us are.
just a speeding caravan just explodes on the side of it.
All right. Okay, so let me roll. So, all right. So while you go through, so you're, I assume what's going to end up happening is right now it's around like 7 o'clock at night. Is this going to be the time that you guys want to like literally sit down, try to go to sleep, get your 8 hours in? Henri, the thing with you is that you're going to have to decide like, because it's going to take you a while to get that spell copied, and I assume that people. Also, tell me this: like, how long are you going to spend resting, I guess, because that depends, right? Because Henri's got stuff she has to do. Everybody can stay up with Henri or they can go to bed.
I'm just gonna
Well,
spend as long as it takes copying the spell, and then I'm going to head to bed, and I'm going to. It's probably going to be that I'm going to sleep later than they're going to wake up. So I'm just gonna like, if I'm still sleeping, I'm just gonna tell Grin to like just carry me as they travel.
yeah, I thought the whole reason why we weren't spending the entire travel time is so that Henri had time to
Yeah.
copy the spell and take a long rest.
Yeah,
So
we'll
we
see.
sacrificed travel time.
Messages a
6.
level
It's 6 hours.
6.
No. It's level
Oh,
3. It's 6
I was
hours.
just,
Sorry.
yeah, 6 hours. Yeah. So it's 150 gold pieces in 6 hours. Right?
No.
150 gold pieces.
Isn't it 50 gold pieces per level? Oh
That
no,
might-
it's actually 150 gold pieces of material, and it takes 6 hours, right? Oh no, hold on. Let me just double check that.
Yeah,
There is a
it's
gold component to it.
yes,
Yeah.
it's. I think you are
Yeah.
right. Actually, I think it's 150 gold pieces worth of material.
Yep.
And then, but don't I have that? Didn't we buy that from the library?
That's what I'm looking at. I think you do have that because you specifically bought. I just don't remember how much you purchased. I'm trying to find it. We'll say that you consume what you have, which is fine. And then you guys can just buy more as you get through it. Do you remember how much gold though? How much gold they sold it to? I'm trying to find this and I don't see it.
The only I'm pretty sure you sold us like specifically packs that were worth a level of spell.
That's what I did, yes. But do you remember how many you purchased?
Hang on, I'm gonna go check the one note. I want to say it was. I think we bought a decent amount and then we used some on counter spell, but no, I don't
Yep.
remember the exact amount.
I'm looking too, so I'm seeing if I can find it. I don't know why it's not in here though. How are you copying it, by the way, Henri? What's the mechanism you're using to copy it?
A
Like
pen?
you don't. No. Sorry. How are you copying message? Who has it? Like, how are you copying it in?
So,
You're just doing it from your.
Lucia, Elise's side character, had a backup spell book because they were a scribe wizard, and
Yep.
so they gave it to me.
Gotcha. How the fuck do you copy things from other people's spell books? That's the interesting thing, because the mechanism is actually for scrolls, and if you fail your check, it gets consumed.
It's
But how do you do it with the spell book? Spell book to
if
spell
you
book.
find another wizard's, because I've found another wizard like an NPC wizard and just copied it, and we talked about
Yep.
this. It just you just copy it. It doesn't
Yep.
disappear. It's just you just copy it. That's how
Gotcha.
it's written. Is that if you find another wizard's spell book, you can just copy the spells. It doesn't have
Yeah,
any
I think
mechanic for the
that's
spells
right.
like disappearing.
Gotcha.
Pardon me for a second. I gotta step away.
Yeah, that's the general consensus anyway. That is correct. Yep. So. Yep, it's just a DC. It looks like it's just a DC 13 check. That's what I'm also trying to figure out. But it's just time at this point. You go to copy the spell. What we're going to see. The only reason why you have to do the check is just to make sure that the timing is not wasted. Hold on.
Yeah, so for that I'm actually just gonna put in it to an 11, and then my modifier is +4, so I hit 15.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yep, it's totally fine.
I'm also seeing that it's 10 gold per spell level.
I thought it was 50 gold per spell level. Hold on. I just read 50 gold.
Where's it say 10, Tyler?
Do you remember the Zbashi video that I linked you? I just rewatched that and it said 10 gold in 1 hour per spell level.
That's probably the scribe class then.
I'm
The
looking right
subclass?
now. I think even in D&D Beyond, I think it says 50 gold, but that's what I'm double checking. I saw this in a forum with Jeremy Crawford, and it was 50 gold. But let's see.
Unless I'm just mistaken. I flipped to
Yeah,
the part in the
no. It
video.
says for each level of the spell, the process takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold.
Yeah, that's what I see too. For each of those, the process takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold. Yep. Yep.
Oh, that was to copy spells back into a different spell book that
Oh,
you already know?
Yeah, it's to make
That's
a
what it
backup
is.
spell
Gotcha.
book. To make a backup
Oh,
spell
okay.
book, that's traditionally how much it
Gotcha.
costs.
Never mind.
Yep.
God, it's almost like I don't play a wizard or something.
Well, actually, so the thing is, the reason why there's gold things or whatever is because later wizards become insanely powerful if they can just cast these things and always copy things or whatever. The thing is that gold also becomes kind of silly depending on how you play the game. So it's a weird thing. there is actually a really good reason behind all this. It's just for balance, but it's weird because gold can also not become kind of irrelevant, so it just depends. But
I do not appear to have written down how many pieces of paper I bought. I apologize.
that's fine. We'll just say that for now let's just say that you use up everything and you have enough for at least one level more, and then you'll just have to buy some more when you get into another thing,
Sounds good.
another town that has it. Now the other thing to keep in mind is that um I don't even know if this is relevant, but yeah, I mean, for people who don't know though, I mean, like anyone who's ever like done the testing or whatever, Wizards is actually the most powerful class in the game, like bar none. Like there's nothing more powerful.
Eh, I
Which
think
is
it
fine.
depends on how
It's
you
true.
play each class.
It does, but like
It is
by the
called Wizards of
numbers,
the
by the
Coast.
hard, yeah, exactly. By the numbers, by the math, like they're fucking insane. And they also have the most utility and everything else. But they also have the biggest weaknesses, which is why they do some of this stuff, but it's really just to counterbalance that. But in the end, even though it doesn't seem that way, it certainly seems like level 20 most classes are all whatever, but there's some shit that
Yeah, but you
get
have to survive as a level 1 wizard.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That and like and also like Henri just said, it depends on who's playing it too, of course. Like, not every person is, it's but
Yeah,
as
like I'm
crunch,
shit
as
at
the
Wizard.
actual crunch, no, you're great at Wizard. But as Crunch, though, pure Crunch, they're built to be the at least one of the most powerful classes in
Yeah,
The most important thing though is getting a 20 in intelligence.
the game.
yeah,
So good
that
luck
one.
finding a new wizard. I hope they play as well as I did. Uh, goodbye.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
why,
lot of homework
honestly,
though.
that's why I like Wizard too. Though they actually have the most options on top of it. Like if you really look at the options the Wizards have, it's like pure insanity at the end. But
Yeah, you got to do your homework if you're playing a wizard.
Shit, I'm terrible at homework.
Same.
all right, cool. All right, so we can go ahead. So we're only going to do the check though, again, to just make sure that it does actually copy, um, and to also make sure that you didn't waste your time.
You're talking about the DC check?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, but you're
so
doing
that's
that.
I'm
That's right. You're
porting it.
porting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry. Okay. All right. If you want, we can fast forward to that. So, this is what ends up happening throughout the night. So, you only spot 3 caravans going through, and sure enough, there are a bunch of very curious. One of them is a merchant group, and they actually have hired guards, and they are very curious about what the hell this is. Matter of fact, the guards get out, assuming they're about to get ambushed, because no one. It's very clear to you guys that no one actually knows what your hut is, what that thing is on the side of the road, and they can all tell that it's magic. Um, but they're careful and they basically go through it. Now during this time, like, people will be resting and stuff, but like, does anyone want to do anything on the first caravan? You guys can see outside the hut. It's just
I'll just be
If we get
meditating,
out
so
of
I'll
the
just.
hut, we
you can
can't
get
come
out of
back
the
in,
hut too.
right?
That's you can walk out of the hut if you'd like. Yes.
But can we get back in?
Yep.
Yeah.
I believe so, right, Henri? Everyone can get back in if they choose to, right?
Everybody but me.
Right.
I have to
Right.
stay in the hut the entire time or it goes down, but everybody else, as long as you're near me when I cast it, you can freely move in and out of the hut.
Yep.
Well, with the first caravan, Ryan would probably take a look around just to see if they can garner any details about, the security detail, any markings on the carriages.
Yep. So there's only 2 carriages in tow in this. There's a fine looking carriage that actually has some gilded metallic, maybe gold on it as well. When you look at to find any kind of symbolism, the only thing that you notice is that it does have what looks like um sorry, hold on. Um what? Sorry, hold on one second. Um Okay, so right, so it does look like on the beginning like the one that's more fine than the one in the back of it. It's got 3 lightning bolts radiating from a central point. I can show you what it looks like, and that's the symbol of it. Um, I'm sure I can find one of these. So hold on one second. Right. Um, it looks like this. Um, it's 3 lightning bolts, but I'm gonna put it in Discord for you. But that is the symbol. Let me know when you guys see.
Chris?
Why does that keep happening? Chris, you went into secret. We can't move you though, so you gotta go back.
That's weird. I definitely did not move myself into secret. That is fucking bizarre. That is super weird. I wasn't even in Discord actually. I just had to get in Discord to do
Everybody, somebody must have sent you because everybody has the power to move.
I know. I'll have to look at that later. People also have the power to kick people out. Someone did that last time. I'll have to look at all that, but super weird. Anyway, that's the symbol though.
Are these guys humans?
So yeah, great question, Grant. So everyone in this caravan right now is that you can see from the outside is human. Also, there are 4 guards that are Ryan that you can see, and there's also additional guards. You can't see all of them, but at least 2 more guards surrounding the caravan. They do kind of like once they see this hut though, everything stops. They get out. They kind of circle the entire caravan. Um, they're kind of waiting for an ambush. Um, and they stop like bracing for a fight. But it's very clear that if they don't get a fight, they're probably going to move on.
Should we go out there and just like move along now?
Nah, it's best if we stay in here. Let them get disinterested and leave. Now, would I know what that symbol means?
You can do a religion check to find out. It's some kind of holy symbol. You would know this, but you just you know
19.
it's Talus's symbol, god of storms.
Now, do
You
I
know a
notice
general
anything?
idea about him, I guess. So he's just the god of storms and destruction. Um, I mean, you don't really know much about his followers. It's nothing you ever like follow. You've never met any of them. Um, but yeah. So, what was your question?
Now, is there anything else that would seem off about the caravan? Just out of
No, I mean, it looks like it does look like it's protecting decently like nice goods, probably. But other than that, no. Yeah.
then I'll probably just keep a close eye on them until they go away.
Okay. Yeah, they do move on. Is if they're not ambushed, they move on. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not hurting anyone. It does look like they're like law-abiding. Obviously, it doesn't look like there's anything nefarious about them.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No
Welcome back.
worries.
The worst hydration cramp ever just struck me and was like, whoa.
That sucks. So the other thing, so that's the first thing that happens. The second thing that happens is you do notice that there is just a group of people traveling on the road with torches. It's a decently large group. It's like 20 people. Only a couple of them have weapons and they're spears. So only like 5 or so have spears. There's also women and children surrounding them, but they're all on the road, moving
Um,
south.
which direction was the caravan traveling?
South as well. You guys are on the major road, so.
Do these people stop and stare at us, or no? They just keep walking.
Any insignia on this one?
people all look at the hut, but they're like hurrying along. No insignia. Matter of fact, um, these people are not as wealthy. It's very clear they're commoners of some kind. The spears look like they're like probably purchased from a town or something. Doesn't look like it's military. Around 20 people or so. They're all moving south this direction.
Are we smoking them?
Let him go by.
You could definitely take them.
No, I'm meditating.
Yeah. They're all in the direction of like, Daggerford and Gillian's Hill. Probably from Waterdeep is your best guess, though. These are all probably from Waterdeep. But that's the only things that happen during the night. So if you guys want to, so if you go ahead and everyone, so it's going to take you 6 hours. So you're going to have to spend the 14 hours to for Henri to also get her long rest.
Mm.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine with
and
me.
then I'm just gonna like tell him to just carry my unconscious body as they start traveling tomorrow, just so they don't have to wait for me to wake up.
Okay, that's fine too. If that's the case, then yeah, you guys can make it now. You have 24 miles, but you can take the 25 miles to Daggerford.
Yeah, we stick Henri in a backpack.
As per usual.
I look at my empty backpack.
Oh god, she has
We
emptiness
gotta get to
syndrome.
a new business.
I mean, you could just
Yeah.
put me in her backpack.
All right.
No, because she'll run off with you or something.
What? I'd run off. You think I'm flighty now?
We're near the lizard marsh. We can get you a new lizard.
First of all, she wasn't a lizard. She was a dragon.
And kobold.
Okay, give me a second. Just want to check one thing before.
Kobolds are like big iguanas, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah?
They're exactly bigger ones.
Yeah, like
I didn't
Grenade.
take you to be the racist kind.
Racist
Great.
iguanas? What?
Is the Modron back up?
The Modron is it takes 24 hours for the Modron to be back up. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Close. But it does take the full 24 hours. And Jesus Christ.
Alright, so we're getting through the full long rest.
Yeah, you're gonna get the full long rest.
Ortons and omens.
Yes. Oh, Chris, I would like to specify I have been doing the hourglass stuff. I've just been forgetting to tell you. I've been
No,
marking it down
I've
in my
seen the
OneNote
thing.
though.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. What is even going on here? It's fine. All right, I'm just gonna. It's fine. Okay. I'll change it to Daggerford.
I got a nat 20.
Nice.
A nat 20 and a
Those are
2.
some good points.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So nothing much has changed coming back to Daggerford. One things to keep in mind is the beginning, like the main gate is still closed. It's very quiet within the city. No signs of like life or movement or anything like that.
I raised the 20 to a 21. Sorry.
Can you do that?
Nice.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
I mean, technically, yes. Yeah.
Do it just in case.
Yeah, it's going to be a 20 plus 1 in that case. So.
I could change the 2 to a nat 1.
Would it be a nat one?
That's... would it?
So, yes. The way this artifact works, yes. It would be a fail, essentially. Yeah.
I think you should go with the nat 1 and the nat 20.
I was gonna say the +1 on the 20 is not as efficient probably as the nat 1.
Yeah, if it's a nat one, go for it. Also, Volo's map, what does it look like?
Nothing. There's no magic items in Daggerford. At least that are not on Volo's map. It doesn't mean that's not the case, but in the map itself, there's not. Couple different things if you guys are going to go within the city. That's what I was looking at too. These are all things that the people that lived here would know. Give me 1 second though. All right. So if you guys are looking at the map, you would know that the Morning Glow Tower, though it was previously dedicated to Lathander, you know that it's actually a holy house now that's been assigned to a monitor, or a monitor, however you guys pronounce it. There's a local marketplace that you would know about. Here, let me show you on the map. It's not obvious. Let's see. What? Okay. So, oh yeah, it's obvious on the map. Yep. So, you guys know that that's where like before when you were growing up, that's where all the local grocers, the farmers, that's where most people actually congregated within the town. So there were always people there. Um, uh, you also know of the drill fields. So the drill fields, that was a wide open area that was used as like literally training grounds for the Daggerford militia. Um, and when it's not used as that, it's an open area. That's where like the caravans would go for like the merchants and stuff. Um, they would just like sit there, whatever. There's also these caravan grounds. That's the area that was used to like house all the carts and wagons from the spillover. And also that's where you could like actually lock in some of the things as well. You already know about the tannery. Within the town, though, there are quarters. Does it show you the quarters on the map? Let's look. I don't have the map up in front of me. Give me 1 second.
The quarters would be too small to see.
Oh my god.
Okay. It is not broken down in quarters. Holy shit. That's right. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, but there's the river quarter that houses this is the area of the town held within the city docks. Um, the only thing that's really of note there that you guys would know about is this that there are like here I'll show you. So the one thing to keep in mind on this side is that here's the this is all the docks, and the docks are actually by design outside of the city walls. Um, it was a basically a kind of bad, like after whoever designed Daggerford took the risk of basically putting the docks as a non-defensible place, so they had to unfortunately be outside because they decided to do this giant moat around the entire place. So if there was ever like an invading force, whatever, these docks are exposed, but that's considered the like port area over in here. So the good news for you guys though is that you can actually investigate this place and not go within the city walls. Um, Other than that, um,
Before we dive right in, did we want to talk to Karsus or Artemis?
We probably should. Probably Karsus. And if we can, brother.
all right.
I don't think we. Oh yeah, we can now because yeah.
Yeah.
We can.
So who do you want to talk to first, and what do you want to say?
Well, we have the summoning
The sending
stone,
stones, yeah.
sending stone for Karsus.
Yep. You want to talk to Karsus?
Yeah, is that the plan? Everyone's cool with that?
Yes.
I don't even know who he is, but I'm happy to be here.
Oh, you'll love him. He's just your type.
Yeah, we have the stones for Artemis and Karsus.
Okay. What do you want to say to Karsus?
Oh, I'm just looking up sending stones. Do I have a word cap?
You do have a word cap.
It's most likely
I'm
going
almost
to be
positive.
25, like with the spell.
I thought it was just more of like a summoning bell more than an actual message.
Nope. When activated, a sending stone can be used to cast a sending spell targeted at the bearer of its pair.
Is it a sending stone though? I thought they were just summoning stones.
Is it? I just said some. It said sending stones just because
You
I
have to use it.
forgot what
That's
they
what
were.
I'm waiting. That's what I'm waiting. What do you want to do, Kino?
Yeah, I will activate it,
Okay.
hoping you won't show up in a bad mood.
Okay. Yep. So Kino activates the stone. You've done it before. Kino, you were the last person to use it, right? Last time he
Yeah.
teleported to you, but yeah.
Yeah.
Last time it was brother.
Oh, was it brother last time? Well, Kino, if you've never used it, then you have to figure it out. So you have to like spend the time.
I saw
I assume you do
brother.
that.
Kino
Yeah,
would
yeah.
remember. Tyler doesn't.
Okay, that's fine. So, yeah, you just spend you like try to figure it out. You eventually do after 10, 15 minutes. You activate the stones. They do every time you activate them, they glow. Um, it's one stone. Nothing happens so far. While you're waiting, what do you want to do?
I want to get sending ready for brother.
Sure. What do you want me to
Message,
say?
right?
No,
Message,
like
yes.
sending message. Sending, not message. Message is the cantrip.
Gotcha.
Well, you have 25 words. Make them count.
Yeah.
I'm not good with words. What should I say?
You
Well,
up?
just you
Joke,
up.
sorry.
25 words of you up. You up, you up, you up, you up, you up. That sounds like something Henri would say.
Chester, is that you?
Jester scatting.
Just brother 25 times.
He just looks and goes, "Yep, Henri got sending."
just brother, but like one word, just 25 words length of brother. Just brother.
Just how are things looking in Waterdeep? Are you safe? Is the city safe? Please come back to us soon.
We miss you.
Yeah. Also, if you say a number, does that count as one word?
Yes.
Okay. Just because I know he likes to be safe, maybe you should say his number at the beginning of the sending, just so that he knows we are actually us.
He has
Because
a number.
I will whisper it to Henri.
Okay,
8,
so
6,
so
7,
that
5, 3.
number and then that message.
Hold on, I'm copy and pasting something.
No, you don't have to be secretive about it.
Tyler
No,
kinda
but
does.
literally words. No, I'm sending her actually the words she needs. Also, I just lost them. But yeah, while definitely say or ask him where he is, how things are. Let him know we've left Icewind Dale.
Okay. So, so the number, we left Icewind Dale. How is Waterdeep? God, I fucking forgot what Tom said. Tom, help. What did you say before? What do you want? What was your template?
No, I don't remember.
Somebody rewind the recording.
How are you? How is Waterdeep? Is the city safe? I think.
How
No.
about number? This is Henri. We left this okay. Number. This is Henri. We left Icewind Dale. Is Waterdeep safe?
When can you come back?
Uh,
We're
we
on our
miss
way.
you. We'll be there soon. How's that?
That sounds good.
Okay.
It's not perfect, but that's what I have real quick.
Okay, so
I'm not trying to be secretive about it. It's literally word counts, so I was typing it out.
Number, how is Waterdeep? Where are you? Are you safe? We have left Icewind Dale. Aurilla's fears. We need to talk later.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So if that's what you send to brother is free to respond. 25 words.
Brother will respond. In the land of the purple dragon, underground, marginally safe, can travel east if needed.
Okay.
And that's what he'll respond with.
I will repeat that to Kino. To everybody.
Oh my god.
What's the land of the purple dragon?
Cormier,
Oh.
I hold up my shield.
It doesn't have
Wait,
the
so
thing
he's
on it
not in
anymore.
Waterdeep?
Has the purple dragon on it.
Wait, it didn't take that off when the Tiamat symbol went up?
Nope. It's still there. It just reverted it back before it was cursed.
Ah, okay.
Wait, so is he not in Waterdeep anymore?
No, but he said he could travel too. Said he could travel the water deep.
So what did he say exactly, Henri?
Yeah, repeat it back for us.
Repeat it,
I
because
repeat
we
it
didn't
back
hear
to
what
you.
he said.
I repeat it back to you. Fuck off.
Yeah. John can, if you want to say it again, that's
In
fine.
the land of the purple dragon. That's it. That's all I remember. Doing well.
In the land of the purple dragon,
Relatively safe.
relatively safe,
Underground.
underground, can travel east if needed.
Yep.
And travel east. So there's something west that is not good.
Or travel west, rather, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was confused because I thought Waterdeep.
Yeah,
was
I'm
on
like
the-
scrambling to find the map right now.
Yep. Yeah, you can just use the overworld map too, the Owlbear one. Yep. Oh no, you can't. What am I saying? You see the other one. That's why. Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Could
Yeah. I'll bring
we
this one
Why
back
is
for
he
now.
in Cormier?
I'll bring it back for now so you guys can see it too. I
could
mean,
we
it's a distance for him to travel, but you don't know how he's traveling, so.
could we get the overworld map on concept board just so we can refer to it?
Yeah, that's a yes. Getting you that picture is difficult, but yes. Yeah, I'll try to get it to you.
Well, it doesn't have to be right now. I'm just saying in the
Yeah.
future, so we have it
Yeah,
to
yeah, that's
refer
probably
back
yep.
to it in general.
Yep. Yep. What might even be easier since it's now photoshopped and like customized to this is maybe I can open up 2 sessions of this too, but I'll figure something out so you guys can see it.
Wait, isn't concept board just you put the picture in there?
Yeah, the only thing is if you save this image, I think it's gonna suck, but you could try it, yeah. Like if you save it as the PNG, I had to do a shitload for this to get it in. I think it's gonna really suck, but I could be wrong.
Can we put images into concept board or just you?
No, you can. You can. Yeah, if you take the PNG, see if you can just paste it in. I don't know if it's gonna be a high resolution image or not. It's probably not. Maybe. It
Are
might
we
work.
just doing the Icewind Dale board or are we doing a new one?
You can just do that. You can just put it in the Icewind Dale one too. It's
Okay.
huge, so.
If I can.
Does it actually let you like zoom in and everything? Is it like
Hang on, I haven't put
nice
it
or
in
is
yet.
it? Oh.
I tried to copy it. All it does is save
It does
like
a
what
PNG
you
to
currently
me,
looked
and
at.
it looks terrible. But
So yeah, it only saves the visible part of the map.
right, and mine's real low resolution for some reason. But anyway, if Foundry can do it, do it. If not, I'll do it later.
It's uploading.
I cannot figure out this thing is so fucking massive. I can't even tell you, and it's also not the right size and not the right resolution. I had to do so much shit to get this in here, and then I had to overlay that fucking grid on top of it. But yeah. But if you can do it, awesome. Because like when I even try to zoom out and do it, it does not work. It looks terrible when you zoom in. But,
Yeah, it's taken a little bit to load, so I'm hopeful it'll be high res.
yeah. So, um, if you want to ask brother again, I think you have to recast, right? To take the
Yes.
other.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The casting is a message and then a message back, and anything after
Right.
that is another casting.
Right.
I mean, should
Good news
we?
is if you wanted to travel to Cormier, you could stop by Grin's homeland.
We could.
Oh, I want to go to Cormier.
I mean,
What's
it's
in court?
far, but not super far. It's really not that far. It's far though.
I mean, there's lots of things
Well,
that
you
are
don't know
fun.
how brother's traveling. He might have faster ways of getting. You're not sure, so.
Maybe we'll get a wagon. Maybe we'll get a wagon in
Maybe I
Daggerford.
can borrow my parents' car.
A Studebaker.
Now they're gnomes, it would be a beetle.
That's fair.
No, they'd have a beaver wagon.
Is Carson
VW
sitting there?
microbus.
Right. So no, Carsus has not shown up yet.
VW microbus is good.
Do you guys want to do anything else while you wait? Like, do you want to like look at Dagger for anything, or just wait for Carsus?
Do we want to maybe have? Oh, we don't have a familiar anymore. That isn't Butterball. Do we want to have Butterball do a very, very, very wide perimeter of the area?
Yeah, I mean, as long as here's the thing with Henri's familiar, as long as it doesn't put itself in immediate danger, it's going to be fine. Of course, anything that does hit it is going to really suck. But Butterball herself has magical resistance. So even if it was like magic missile, well, magic missile would suck, but like a normal spell or whatever, that
Oh
it's
wait,
still going to have advantage on the
better?
yeah.
I found the map online.
No.
It's real big.
Yeah. Did you find it through Reddit though? Because is it the same one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the same one.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
also already has the roads on it.
Yep.
Oh, Amanda, did you drop that one too?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
I don't.
confused because I was uploading it too, and it still says converting. I'm like, how did it appear already?
Yep.
Honor, like, I guess Kino would have asked Honor this as soon as the spell went through. Brother sounded like he was telling the truth, right?
I mean, yeah, it's brother. Why wouldn't he? Yeah, so it's on concept board now, and it seems pretty decently high quality.
Okay. Good. All right. Good. Awesome. Yeah, when I did it, I could only get if I zoomed out and zoomed back in, it was not good. It was real
It
bad.
takes like a
So
second to refocus
yeah,
because the file must be so big.
yeah.
Yeah.
The best thing to
Also,
do is to find the one on Reddit. The one on Reddit is not exactly, well, it depends. There's like three versions of it. You'll have to just double check. To know that you have the right one though, it has to have the colors obviously, because
yeah.
there's also like extra points of interest and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's got all that.
All right, good.
Whoops. It's real big.
It's real big. Okay, so if we're sitting waiting until Kosis shows up, I'm gonna start reading more text into my book. Or not. I'm gonna read a book into the crystal, the magic item.
You're gonna consume one of the books. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm-
All right. Yeah, I can get you something for that. Cool. If that's the case, I mean, Tyler, is the idea to wait for Karsus? Because if so, I'll let you know what happens. We just have to have the time pass. So
I would say after like an hour, if he doesn't show up, I'm going to assume that there's other forces at play and I'll cut it off. But I would kind of like to maybe commune with Answerer, and I've been using the sword a little longer. I want to just reach out to the sentience within the sword and see if there's any additional tasks I need to do or if there's any way I can get um, in better favor with it.
yeah. So a couple things. So after around 50 minutes or so, what eventually happens is you see a brief glimpse of Karsus, but it's ethereal, and really quickly in a split second, he says something that you kind of understand, kind of don't understand. You're gonna have to actually make a perception check. So make a perception check to see how well you got this, because it was really quick.
Everyone or
Guidance.
just Kino?
Just Kino, because it would have
Uh,
done to the activator. Yeah, everyone saw this, but only Kino has a chance of.
What was that,
Yeah.
guidance?
Guidance.
Yep.
17 on the perception.
All right. He told you he'll talk later, but it was so incredibly quick that you really like are crazy. It's nuts that you were able to piece that together. Less than a second. But he's apparently busy. Um, okay. So the other thing is that if you take Answer out, um, what exactly do you want to say to Answer? I guess give me your exact words.
I am going to say kind of telepathically because I know it spoke to me telepathically. I'm going to see if last time we spoke, you said that the way to gain your favor was to use you in battle. I've brought you all over the Sword Coast. I've slayed countless foes with you. Is there any way I could bring your power further?
The only instinctive thing that you get back from the sword is that you need to put yourself in highly dangerous, heroic situations that involve bloodshed and combat, and that's what it wants from you.
Okay.
Even if they're reckless, doesn't matter, doesn't care. If you remember do you remember the very first image it showed you?
I do. With the.
It wants those kinds of things.
Okay. Duly noted.
Yep. Not to say this would be the smartest thing, but like running into a city bunch of full of crystal people and like starting to hack things down. It's that kind of thing it wants necessarily, but you don't need to be suicidal or crazy, obviously. But that's it wants you to push your limits and do amazing things.
Oh, Corinne, you should get one of these. I think it would like you.
Get a weird, creepy talking sword?
Yeah.
Give me that one.
No, I can't. This one's mine. We'll find another. There's a bunch. That's like the whole thing
Where'd
is
you
there's
get
a
that
bunch of them. In the sewers. You
Oh,
should
I
go wait
wasn't
around
there.
in this line. Yeah, I know. I remember.
Are you
Actually,
guys
you
going
were
to
there
talk
for the
to
beginning.
Brother more, or is that the only thing you guys are going to say to him?
Should we do another message?
We could.
That's not a leading question. I'm just curious because otherwise we can. I'll go on to Daggerford.
Is it a ritual?
It is not. It is a 3rd level spell slot every time I cast. That
So it's
is,
expensive.
yeah, that is what Brother was running into as well, is that he only had a certain amount of 3rd level spell slots, and Basically,
Yep.
he would choose to have a sending day where he just used up all of his third level slots to just cast sending a bunch.
How about
Hold off
this?
for now.
If at the end of the day you still have a sending slot, respond to him and ask what he's doing in Corvair.
Okay.
Because I'm
Alright.
dying to know.
All right, we will go then. So, if we're going to engage Daggerford, tell me a little bit about what the plan is and how we want to go through and start this. Remember,
We're-
this is the drill field here. This is the marketplace. Um, Abel, you remember that these are the entrances to the sewer that is possibly complicated to get into if you don't breathe water or hold your breath long, but still possible. Um, and these are large. You could literally, the gates are so large that a person could literally just fall in them. Matter of fact, unfortunately, that has happened in the past. People have drowned and died, unfortunately, falling into these things. Drunken soldiers, children. I mean, it's a thing, but they can't put the walls and guardrails up for certain reasons because the way that they're designed and everything. So they're out there. Um, that temple is this thing here that we talked about. Um, Other than that, I mean, you do have like a bunch. I mean, you can literally go in any way you'd like, I guess. So.
Hmm. Well, the gate is locked, right? The front gate, just the front doors.
Did Butterball say
Yeah,
anything?
they are. Yeah. So, I guess tell me, what did Butterball want to do again? I'm sorry.
I mean, we didn't make any plans for Butterball, so what do you want her to do,
Yeah.
Kino?
I was just gonna have her do another round, see if anything's changed.
Okay. I would ask her to just do a brief reconnaissance and see if anything has changed since the last time we were here,
Yeah.
which was yesterday.
Yeah.
2 days
And
ago.
is there any particular path you want her to fly?
Um, I'm gonna have her be invisible
Yeah.
and just do a clockwise just circle around the city.
Okay. She does. She goes off and flies, but she does tell you, "Am I just a tool here for you to do all of this spying?" And she goes off. Um,
Oh,
and she goes all the way around. And she does eventually. Wait, are you going through her eyes, or are you just gonna let her report back?
I was just gonna let her report back.
Okay. All right. She comes back, and she says, "I saw some crystal people over here." She gives you the mental image in your mind, actually. Here, and she telepathically explains here, here, and here. They're moving really, really slowly, if at all. And they glow. Um, and she said that she saw some glowing going in here in the windows while she was like on the perimeter. Other than that, there's nothing really special going on. There's magic at play for here. This building has some magic in it. Doesn't know if that's important or not. And then she saw some more crystal people. They're barely moving though.
Thank you
No
so
other
much.
people besides. Yeah.
I'm sorry to you're just I don't mean to use you as a tool. I thought you I guess I just thought you'd be happy with helping us, but I didn't mean to use you as a tool, and I'm sorry.
She sighs. She says, "No, it's okay. I'm super good at this."
You are super good at this. That's why I was like, well, but Butterball, Jesus, Butterball, Butterball can do it because she can turn invisible and she can see magic. So I thought you were just the best one for the job. But you're right. I shouldn't have just assumed that you would want to do it because that's sending you out into situations you might not want to get into.
She said, "It's okay." She says, "I am the best."
You are the best.
And she goes back into her cloak.
Okay.
And so yeah, the so so what you guys are getting from this is that, I mean, it's relatively. There's not really much going on at all within the city. It's super quiet. These statues are barely moving. These crystalline things are barely moving. It's a bunch. It's just a fully unknown situation.
After I'm going to while Butterball is doing the reconnaissance, I'm just polishing a gold coin that I pull from my pouch just on my sleeve, and I'm going to palm it into Honor's hand and just kind of put a finger up to my hand and kind of motion to Butterball. It's very shiny and it's valuable.
It is.
You're giving Butterball a gold piece.
Butterball, do you want this?
Is that what you gave her? Like a gold piece?
I gave it to Henri to give to her.
Right. Okay. All right. So Butterball looks at the gold piece, by the way, and she's like, she's like, are you kidding? Are you kidding?
It's shiny like you. You don't like it?
She said it's 1 gold is what you're giving me.
Oh boy.
I mean, I didn't really think you wanted any
And I-
more.
She said, no, I want magic items.
So you don't want any of the shinies if they're not magic?
She said, nope.
Okay.
She said, give me that lady's magic items. She said, that's what we'll do. When she's sleeping, you steal them and you give them to me.
You wouldn't like her magic items, so we're gonna go find you new magic items that you'll really like.
I said, okay. Or we just steal hers.
We'll see which one is better.
She said, okay.
Okay.
This is all telepathic,
Yes.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Okay. All right.
So
what are you
are
guys
we
gonna
going
do?
in?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
we should
we're going
probably
in.
go in and check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, besides the river sounds, you guys don't hear anything. The river is actually pretty noisy. It's actually got a pretty strong current that runs north to south, but other than that, you guys don't hear much.
There's
I want to check
no
the docks first.
there's no breaks in the wall, correct?
Nope. No, whatever took this city, if anything took it, did it without a fight on the outside.
All right. Yeah. Let's go check out the port.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, let's definitely do it quietly.
Yeah, you guys want to. So, with thing, show me which area you want to go to the port with a pointer. That area. Okay. All right. So there are several so there's a bait and tackle fishing house here, and then there's some other buildings that look like they have something to do with maybe ships. You guys want to just check the whole area out here?
Yeah.
Do you want to do so stealthily?
Sure. I mean,
Yep. Give me
I
stealth
have
checks for
advantage on stealth,
everybody.
but we can try.
Yep. That means everybody does stealth checks.
Oh boy.
And then what's the lowest?
And I'm casting Pass Without a Trace.
What does
Hello?
that do?
It
Okay,
gives
there.
everybody a +10 to stealth checks.
Oh, plus 10. Okay, that's nice. That is nice.
Also, I was gonna take advantage of the water and walk, barely my eyes peeking out.
Gotcha. You're just walking on the bottom of the
Yep.
thing or something? Gotcha. Okay. That's fine. All right, so everybody gets a plus 10 to their stealth, which is great. So. What was the lowest?
That's going to be me at a 5.
With a
15.
You guys get
Oh,
15. Yeah.
17.
okay.
Yeah.
15 and then 16. I have
Okay,
the 16.
15 to 16. Okay, that's fine. So, so you guys walk around pretty quietly. You walk. The first thing that you notice is that the buildings are completely empty. But even more strangely is that At first you walk into like the bait shop. There's nothing in there, like literally no bait or whatever. That's a little strange, especially considering that you expected to walk in and just have like, rotting bait or whatever if these were going through, but nothing. And then when you start looking at all the shipbuilding supply yards and everything too, where they would normally have like boats and everything, they've been completely wiped clean, meaning that things have been either stolen or taken, like everything. Like we're talking like tools, any kind of like leftover things. Now there are a couple things that are left over, like there are empty jars and other things that have little to no value, but everything has been wiped clean. Um, and then you walk through all the houses, and it's surprising and also a little disturbing that everything was taken. The houses are all unlocked, every single one of them. All these buildings are completely unlocked.
I mean, do
Do we-
dragons hoard stuff this cleanly?
I mean, usually they go for value that like
They must have been careful, whoever took everything, because there's no signs of breakage. There's no signs of all the buildings. None of the buildings are ransacked at all. Everything's pretty orderly.
Might be
Dragon-
fair to say that somebody might have just cleared all of the belongings and they would have got on the ships and just vacated town.
dragons don't do it this
Go ahead and do a
clean.
perception check. Go ahead and do perception check. I guess everyone, since everyone's looking.
I'll guidance myself.
Give me the highest. Looks like 26 is probably gonna be up, but let's see.
I have a 7, but I am out in the water, so I guess that kind of follows.
Okay, yeah. So 26. Who got the
27.
26? Oh, who got the 27?
Ryan got the 26. Or I got a 23.
Well, you and Orion both noticed this relatively same time, that it's more than just that the items are missing. The the everything is unnaturally clean, and it's also you notice that the few items that are left behind are done so in an orderly fashion. Everything that's been left behind, as a matter of fact, um, has been done so neatly. Doesn't seem like it's in a particular pattern, but everything that's left behind has been done so in some kind of like OCD neat fashion. It's also unnaturally clean.
Oh, so I didn't notice because it's just done the right way.
Yeah, yeah. You don't imagine that fishermen, especially seafaring people, that's what you're putting together, would ever be this orderly or clean.
This was all staged. Dragons don't do it this cleanly. Dragons want their presence to be known. They want you to know that you got raided. This is something else entirely. This is so people don't know that it was cleared out.
I mean,
Now you
this
do notice
was
that there are actual ships in the port that are also just like no one's doing anything with them. So there are boats. There really are boats here.
Do we see footprints in the sand?
Nothing. As a matter of fact, that's the one thing that I was about to mention as you get back with your same check, is that there are literally no footprints. The only footprints now that exist are the footprints you have made coming into this place.
I'm mage handing my own set of footprints away.
Okay. This is all
Is
sand, by the way. It's all sand, like a beach area, almost.
that gate open?
Nope, the gate is closed here. Gates
um
closed, and you notice right off the bat, the thing that would be the most thing is that these are ships are worth money, and they're unmanned. These ships are all worth money.
Just a quick note, because
Like
I use
10.
Path Without Trace, we do not leave behind any tracks or traces.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, in that case, you wouldn't anyway. Okay, cool. That's good to know.
I would probably underwater move underneath the docks and just kind of inspect it there, see if there was anything dropped or the condition of the ships.
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
14.
14. With a 14, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary with the bottoms of the ships or the ships or the docks.
I'm trying to keep line of sight on my friends checking around the buildings.
Sure.
How do the
But like
boats look?
this ship is actually here, and this ship would be worth like 10,000 gold for the real ship, maybe more.
In
As far
if
as I can tell, they look like functional ships, though.
well, like, is the bottom clean? Is it? Do they look like they've been sitting
No,
in port?
the bottoms do not look clean. They look like normal ship bottoms. There's nothing out of the ordinary able that you were able to find with the bottom of these
Okay.
ships.
If I went to any other dock, it would look pretty much the
Yeah.
same.
Do they look like they've been upkept?
If you want to get on the ships, you can.
I will. Is everyone all right with that? Abel?
Are we stealing a ship?
I mean,
Why?
I have questionable track record.
I mean, you don't have a ship, so ships are super useful.
It's always an option.
I could see why Orion would want one.
Yeah,
Oh
no, I
my
mean, we
God, there's
definitely
such a
could.
maintenance up problem.
Easy way to get to Waterdeep.
Yeah, take it, steal it, sell it at Waterdeep, and then walk away.
Have you ever tried to anchor
I
a
don't
boat
know
at
about
Waterdeep?
stealing a ship.
That would go great with the guard. Oh, what's the ship
Well,
number?
Kino, do you want to inspect it?
Yeah, I'll inspect it. The one
So
Abel's
Kino
closest
walks.
to.
Yeah. Well, I assume it's the big one, right? This one, or no? Abel, you
Uh,
can tell me which one.
What's that?
Which ship?
Am I looking at?
Well, yeah, so Abel inspected the small ones, this one and this one.
Mm.
But which one do you want to be at, Kino?
I'll be at the big one.
Okay, so Kino walks on the big one with everyone else. So
I'm being
Kino,
careful too. I'm not
yeah,
like,
that's fine.
yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, so Kino, you walk on the ship or whatever. You hear what sounds like 1,000 little breaks. You don't know what it is per se, but uh, Abel, where are you at?
I am probably, if they're getting on, I'm probably between the ship and the dock in the
Okay.
water.
Well, Abel, you can see this in the water. You can see what's happening. So you walk on the ship, you hear thousands of small little breaks, and the ship very quickly takes on water.
Feather fall, and I'm stepping back onto the dock.
Yeah. That's fine. It's going to take more than the time it takes to sink for 6 minutes. I mean 6 seconds. You can move back on the dock. It takes more time, but it does. But the ship sinks after a
Shattered?
minute. It's you're not sure, but it thousands of small breaks,
Does it
and
seem
then it
like the
just
ship
sinks.
was glass?
No, not necessarily, but what it sounds like that the brakes sound like wood breaking, but what ends up happening is it does slowly but very quickly after a minute. So I don't know if anyone's ever seen a ship sink. It takes way longer than a minute. But Abel, when you were able to look on the bottom, it looks like the bottom just like disintegrated, or but basically the wood just broke in so many places that the water just literally rushed in, and it took less than a minute for this ship to sink.
Okay.
Did it seem like the
Did it seem
wood was
empty?
old?
No, Abel inspected this and it seemed normal. The wood seemed
I feel
normal.
like
The
it
bottom
was
seemed normal.
sabotaged somehow to do that.
Yeah, Abel. If it, I mean, Abel can breathe underwater, right? You
Yep.
can breathe on. Yeah, you can go down and inspect the ship if you want. It now it's deep, and
Mhm.
it's still literally falling, like it's sinking. But
Mhm.
once it hits the bottom, it's going to take like 20 minutes. You can inspect it. You could try to inspect it as it's falling if you want. It's just a little dangerous.
As soon as I
From
step
above
up,
it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to dive down and try to go catch up to it, you probably can. So yeah.
I
Make an investigation check while it's sinking. So it's investigation check -3 because it's sinking, but to go and do your investigation check.
An 18 minus 3, so a 15.
15. Yeah, what you think is that it was affected by uh thousands of maybe millions of tiny scores and cuts specifically set up so as soon as there was any weight placed on it, besides the ship's own weight, that the bottom just disintegrated basically. You don't know how this would have been done outside of magic. You imagine this was magic. It would have been too complicated probably to do this manually, but some kind of weird magic play. Someone sabotaged the chips into a piece where you couldn't even notice by looking at it. You couldn't
Yep.
perceive the
I will explain. I'm like, someone had a really good, trap set.
We should probably move. Someone probably heard that.
It was loud. It was noisy and loud. You would think so,
Mhm.
yeah.
Let's find a position. Maybe in one of the houses. Bunker down.
So
You
yeah,
can show
I'm
me which one.
Probably closest one.
So the closest one is technically this one.
Are we already just somewhere where I'm not over the water?
Right. Yeah, the docks are still stable. You were able to walk out in the docks or whatever. So yeah, you can walk back to the docks. And which house do you want to go in? This one, you said?
Well, I'm gonna go wherever the group goes. I'm
That's
just
what I
throwing it
mean.
out there.
Where are you guys deciding to go?
That one's fine.
Abel is going to just kind of hang off across the beach from them in the water.
Okay.
Abel, are you having fun?
Yeah, actually, it's nice to swim around a bit. But it's a good place to watch from.
All right. So if you guys want to wait, are you just going to wait to see if somebody starts to investigate?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get to a vantage point. See if I can peer out the windows while staying hidden.
Yep. Perception checks from everyone.
Guidance myself.
Is that a nat 20?
Dirty
30,
20.
20.
It's for me.
No, someone got a nat 20.
I got an at 20. So 26 here.
Yeah, I got a 23.
So Abel was highest with 26.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, all right. So, yep. So, so what you see is, only you're able to see this. Even so, what was the highest after the 26?
This is 23. Me.
Yeah. So you actually do not see this, Orion. Only the 26 sees this. You see the faint shimmer from the light reflecting around of what look like giant wings just break the surface of the water outside to where the boat was. These are giant, massive wings, but that's all you see. The wings look like they could be crystal wings of some kind of large beast.
No, it got so
I'm
fucking
scared.
quiet.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
I don't know how to break the silence.
Okay.
So do you say that?
I'm kind of away, so I'm not really going to yell out to people.
Okay, that's fine.
Switch the tool to have message. That's a cantrip.
Mm, yeah, I could do that.
And it doesn't break the surface.
No, barely. It's the only reason how he was able to see it. It's just like super god level luck.
So
He
is
was able to see this at all.
Is this what I guess large, huge, colossal?
Yeah. After a while, after a little bit though, inherently, Kino, after around 5 minutes or so, you realize personally that in your vicinity there is a unnaturally large crystal dragon. Crystal dragons are an actual dragon type. This is crystal. Then you think back and you think about like they're incredibly rare, by the way, amazingly rare. One of the dragons you released was a crystal dragon from the book.
Mm-hmm.
You doing
Oh,
okay
this
there,
is
Just before-
Tyler?
personal. This is personal. This is personal information. But crystal dragons are the smallest of the gym dragons. This is what you know about the crystal dragon. They are generally friendly, curious. Generally, the smallest of the gym dragons. Gym dragons can be quite large, but they tend to be the smallest. They are, though, chaotic neutral. Um, you know that they have a blinding cone of white light for a breath weapon. That's pretty freaking nasty. But they are translucent with crystalline scales.
If it starts to head to where I know Kino is, I would switch on my tool for messenger and let her know.
No, it doesn't. You don't even, you lost it, by the way. You only caught it a glib second
Oh,
ago.
okay.
And you don't know where it is. You just know it's in your vicinity. Kino's eyes obviously glow brighter now, purple. Anyway, that's personal to you, Kino.
Good to know.
I do just want to say I don't know how much further you guys want to take things. It is 10:12.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's yeah. So it's fine. We can drop it there. But yeah.
Oh
So
no.
I mean, I can keep going for
congratulations.
another 4 hours.
This is the first time that we've seen any kind of After Effects from that book. But this is one
Yeah.
of them. Spoiler alert.
And we're pretty close to my
Ooh.
hometown, Kino.
All those
We're pretty close
predictions are
to mine
coming true.
too.
We're in mine.
Yeah.
Go take out mine.
Huh.
Well, at least we know we don't have to fight this one.
We don't know that.
Do we know that? Yeah, do we know that?
Yeah.
Kino might not be fighting it.
Yeah, I might not be fighting it.
I was gonna say, that's all Kino knows.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be really unfortunate if Crystalline Dragon basically killed all of your friends and everything that you knew
Yeah.
from growing up.
Once again,
But we'll see. And who knows? Maybe that didn't happen. So
We have a
once again,
yeah.
Tyler watches from the sidelines as his party gets killed by a dragon.
it's probably it's probably incredibly, whatever's happening here is probably incredibly
Oh, was that
complicated, I will
was
give you
that a
Yeah.
Fandover reference, Tom?
It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily also mean that what you guys expect is what's happening either. So we will see.
Hiding in a shack, watching his party get killed.
Shit, did
Oh,
anybody
man.
hear Johnny just now?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
how
you
dare
haven't
ya.
used the C word yet, so.
Oh.
Anyway, I did
I
tell
mean,
you.
coward! Calm down!
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. maybe. Oh boy.
Nobody called you a coward yet.
That's true.
Okay.
This is giving me a lot to think on.
Yeah, I promise it's way more complicated than it looks, and probably not what you're guessing. We will see though.
Yeah. Oh man,
And
that
then
was
remember,
exciting.
you guys could never ever have gone to Daggerford if you didn't want to or whatever. This is again just another thing that you happen to come across. So
We can nuke the city.
How?
Fireball, just a bunch of times. At like
How many
3 different
times can you
levels.
cast Fireball?
It's like any luck with your dispel?
fun fact though, one of the pseudo dragons is actually related to this portion of dragon, just like Henri's pseudo dragon.
It's Seo's, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's not
Yeah.
crystal though. It's a different one, but yeah, it's actually emerald. But yeah.
Just
Chris,
sorry, just to
there
let you know, I
was-
can cast Fireball twice at 3rd level, 3 times at 4th level, and once at 5th level. So I could do
I
some
don't think
damage.
that's enough
Oh.
to nuke it.
And they'll all
Yeah,
do 1
yeah,
damage.
That's a decent amount. Yep.
Chris, was the tiefling that Evil Grin bashed their skull in Seo's brother?
You'll find out.
Oh
what are the
my
odds of that
god,
anyway,
we're
but
screwed.
You'll find
What
out.
are the odds?
Yeah, no.
What are the odds?
I will say this: I'm not that dumb about it, to be honest. Probably. When I say probably not, the chances of that happening are very, very slim. But you'll have to see. So, because I mean,
Amazing.
the thing is that would be a little, yeah, whatever. But
I mean, if
you'll
it were
see,
me,
though.
I would do that. I would do that
Yeah.
to the groups.
Yeah.
If it were me.